Bigfoot Club, Season 2. I am your host, Robert Jesse Dominguez, and with me is...
Christopher Lee Colleps.
And also...
It's Ash.
Ash.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Alright.
I'm tired.
You guys tired?
I am
Always.
tired.
Oh, man, come on.
Always.
I've been painting a house, man.
Yeah, you're painting houses?
Painting a house, not houses.
Bigfoot house.
No, I would not like to paint Bigfoot's house. That is a huge house. I had to paint the forest.
It's just poles, though. There's no walls.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of talk about this is a while back. Discovering Bigfoot with our friend Todd Standing.
Our friend. He's our friend now.
He's your friend.
Yeah. You can be friends with him if you want to.
I'm trying to start this off friendly, so
I don't know him.
We were supposed to start the
have
segment off with our music, but
whatever. We're just gonna jump into it.
Oh yeah, we were. Yeah, we're supposed to start off. We're gonna discuss Bigfoot, right? Talking Bigfoot.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking into Sasquatch's eyes.
Literally.
Maybe.
Well, supposedly Sasquatch eyes.
So Todd Standing, I know Ash and I were talking off show about this, but I think we kind of picked this one because it was kind of interesting with the Bigfoot photos on it and his claims and his documentary. It's on Netflix. I think it's on Amazon too. So
Well, let's be truthful. The real reason why we picked it was we were kind of going for a theme because what was I doing that day? Watching really bad documentaries.
So you wanted to stay on a roll.
yeah.
Just to kind of see, because it's funny. There's all kinds of shit on
Yeah.
crime like that. Like you just get into a rabbit hole. But, it got better as it progressed, I gotta say. But it took me twice trying to watch it because it was so goddamn cheesy at the beginning.
Man, it's cheesy is not even.
Like
What's worse than cheesy?
A B movie. I don't know.
B movies are.
I was gonna say I actually like
they're
B
at least
movies.
entertaining.
Yeah.
And funny on purpose. Yeah.
This was more of a. I don't know. I think it was more of a hey, look at me, and I'm so good.
You know what got me about that show is that Ash and I were watching it together, and I've seen it, bits and pieces here and there, but he was running.
Why are
Like-
you running?
Like
He was constantly running.
yeah, like he'd be talking, and then all of a sudden he'd be running through the water. And then he'd be running to the edge of this cliff, and he'd stop, and he'd look over like he's
Or-
looking over the horizon, and
Or he would run down a hill and then cut right really quick.
really quick.
With his hand on his pistol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself. I said to myself, "So where in the fuck is he going?"
yeah. Where's
He's discovering Bigfoot.
In a fast pace.
Yeah.
In a
It's
fast
really, really
pace.
quick.
yeah? He
There's
was
so
either
many.
running or riding around in his little ATV thingy.
Yeah.
That's one of his skills, like camouflage
Yeah,
and climbing the face of a mountain for no reason.
and tracking.
Tracking.
He's like the expert tracker. Nobody's as good as him.
Expert tracker maker.
Yeah.
See this hole in the ground?
Look at that.
See this leaf and stick moved.
Yeah, look at this. You see this out of place? You see how moist it is on the bottom side?
Only I could see that.
Yeah. I'm the only one.
They only do that when I'm here and nobody else.
Yeah.
That's the best part. He's like, when I'm by myself, that's when any time that he was with anybody else, it's like not shit happening. If it did, they didn't get it on film.
Yeah.
And but when he was by himself, oh Lord.
Hey, guess what? I bet if I went and hung apples in a tree, they'd be gone the next time I came there.
Yeah.
And I don't think Bigfoot would get him.
He's so convinced on it. It's like
Yeah.
it's like he I kind of get it. He's building a brand. He's building his Todd Standing brand, and I get it. He's got to be truthful. He can't do a documentary and not come up with stuff.
But here's my thing, is you make that comment, but he was talking about how the two PhDs that he took out there, they don't say they have to be skeptical because they have to protect their reputation. Well, this guy is trying to protect his reputation by being a hoax. Yeah. And that's not cool for calling them out for being skeptics. Yeah. When he's the biggest hoax out there.
Well, at the time, I don't think they knew he was such a big hoax.
I don't think they did either.
But because to get Dr. Jeff Meldrum and John Bennernagel to go out to Alberta, I mean, those guys get requested to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, he had to leave because of time, a scheduling conflict.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying he offered the money. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But, to get Meldrum and Bennernagel in Alberta in the woods, rural, really super rural.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, he probably went to them as legit and said, hey, I'm legit looking into Bigfoot, and y'all, you're two of the biggest PhDs that have anything to do with Bigfoot. Can you come out here?
Yeah, because Dr. Jeff Meldrum was saying that I guess he kind of felt kind of connected to him. I'm guessing here because he said that he's in the field, he's a PhD, and that a lot of times he's not taken seriously, so he kind of felt like close to Todd because Todd's not taking seriously off his photos and stuff like that. But hey,
but there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand both. Maybe not both points of view, but
right.
I understand where he's coming from because it's not really something that most people take seriously. But he probably sold him that sob story and appealed to him because you can totally tell that he was. The whole time that he was out there, he was reading them and trying to lead them and convince them and manipulating him.
He was
agreeing with him.
Yeah, he was doing projection the whole time.
The whole time.
I mean, they spent a large chunk of that documentary looking at moss.
Yeah, and he was just gaslighting shit out of him. Like, this is what you see. This is what you see. This isn't what it is. This is what it is.
This is a heel. This is a heel. These are the toes. Go ahead and step right there next to it.
Yeah, put your foot in there. Please put your foot in there.
Put all your weight on it.
Yeah, put pressure on it.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, if I had two PhDs with me doing Bigfoot research, we would not be looking at moss.
No. No.
And I get it. Tree structures, that's cool. I mean, tree structures and footprints, I always use that. I've always thought it as a guide, and nothing as hard evidence. It's just a guide. If they're there, yeah, maybe they're doing tree structures, and I don't know, maybe they're doing it for directional purposes or warnings. I don't know, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
So
the one thing that they focused a lot on was the tree breaks. Mm-hmm. They focused a ton on tree breaks, and yes, these were 2 to 3 inch round trees that, you can't go up and just hold on to it and snap it. You'd have to be one strong son of a gun to do that.
I mean, that was probably the most interesting thing, other than Jeff Meldrum seeing the shadow.
Yes, I was going to get to the tree breaks and the tree structures, and then Jeff Meldrum, Dr. Meldrum, seeing the shadow.
What was that?
What was that?
I don't know.
Was that a phone?
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Oh, I don't have my phone, so it's not me.
What was that?
But
they don't want us to talk about this.
Yeah.
Go ahead and continue talking.
Okay. But the two most interesting things to me were the tree breaks, the structures, and when Dr. Meldrum saw the shadow, and then whenever he showed him the video and he lined up exactly where the shadow was, that was pretty interesting. But what just completely ruined it after that was he went and he made these long trails about how the male came around this way. The male didn't take the apple. The female took the apple because I tracked her all the way around here. And
how did he know it's a female?
Yeah, how did he know? because he spent so much time with them. And
just to play devil's advocate on that, allegedly, it's just like on like stride size or whatever, isn't it? How how the hips are set.
Yeah, he was.
But, yeah, he's bullshit.
But here's the thing: he only has 1 or 2 footprints that he shows, but then he's able to track this sucker for miles around this big loop.
7 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
But it's always when he's by himself.
When he's by himself. And then here comes Satan, which he called Satan was the big guy coming out. And I was like, come on. You know, he had those little, like the little lines on there that was tracing. I was like, what did he do? Put like tracking devices on these things? Did he tag them and now he can follow
him?
He
tracked him because he's the expert.
Yeah, because he's the expert tracker. And I'm like,
footprints when his buddy's pulling him on a truck, right? That's how you fake that.
Yeah.
In it.
And I was like, you had me. You almost pulled me in.
Yeah.
With the Meldrum shadow.
Yeah.
You almost had me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can get this. I can dig this. And then you went way out in left field again.
You know, it's possible because they're in bumfuck Alberta, Canada, doing all the stuff you need to do to have activity happen that they got lucky.
Yeah.
With when they were out there.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't get it on film.
Yeah.
Because they're already at camp.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that makes that part more credible.
Yeah.
It's that they didn't film it.
Exactly. They didn't get it on film.
There wasn't I gotta get my flare and yell at you. That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because not only was he by himself.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to a shit ton of allegedly aggressive big animals?
Right.
You're not gonna scream in their face and be like, ugh. Like,
get out of here!
Especially intelligent. I mean, that might work on like a black bear, but it's not going to work on a grizzly bear.
It might work on one of them.
Yeah.
It might work on one of them.
But not 7 or however many.
You know, here's the thing that really bugs me about that is that, you know, you're a Bigfoot researcher and you're doing a documentary and your goal is to get them there. And I understand you're by yourself. You're kind of scared. But if you're going to go out in the field and you're going to do a documentary, why would you want to scare them away? Why would you do that? I mean, you hear them growling. I don't know if it's actually them growling or he had.
I don't know. The growls sounded. They
sounded like real growls.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that.
But it wasn't
was an animal there.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It wasn't. I didn't believe that at that moment he was scared for his life because he was surrounded by 7 Bigfoot.
Right. But wouldn't you want them there?
Well, that's the whole point. The whole time he's giving them apples and giving them gifts and whistling and doing all this and then when they get there and they start acting crazy,
he shoos them away.
Yeah. So
I mean, if I'm a Bigfoot researcher, like that Longview story,
yeah,
I want to go out there where they're aggressive and I want them to come out so I can videotape it so I can prove that they exist.
Videotape.
And then, speaking of videotaping, when he caught the one behind the log and it was like the black one in the black face, he was like, I had one battery and it was going low.
Yeah.
And then,
but I just got this perfect still shot.
Exactly.
I set up my fucking tripod, just like all the other ones. They're really steady.
Yeah.
Like the one that blinked and then the one that's a dead-eyed, been through the dryer.
Yeah.
But that's what it looks like to me. Like when you put a stuffed animal through the
and
dryer,
it goes,
or it just like gets all flat in weird places. But
I don't know. I mean, I commend him for getting Meldrum and Bennernagle up there. Cause
absolutely.
I've talked to Bennernagle twice. I've talked to Meldrum twice. I talked to him once on the phone. I did a phone interview with him. I wish I could. I need to find that interview. Interviewed him once on the phone, and then Todd Partain interviewed him at the 3rd annual Bigfoot conference, and I was with him, and we interviewed him outside of the high school at Jefferson. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I should get with Todd, see if he still has that. So
it's possible.
But to get both of them at the same time, that's. He needed to go buy like a lotto ticket or something because
no doubt
that doesn't happen too often, you know. And Mr. Bennernagle is not with us anymore. God rest his soul. But But yeah, that was intriguing. So, but he's just. There's tons of memes on him right now. I mean, there's always going to be tons. I think he actually got off social media for a little bit.
Yeah,
because he was getting bombarded.
Well,
he's getting bombarded.
When you put garbage out there, you're gonna get
garbage back.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, what's the odds of getting like 3 or 4 shots of 3 different Bigfoots, like a dark
and
one?
And those 2 videos.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got
like 4 faces.
Yeah,
those 2 videos.
And then the 2 videos.
Well, no,
actually,
like 3
videos.
The one going up
the blinking,
and then 4.
Then 4.
The blinking. The one where it was just its back to him,
and he was standing in the opening of the tree.
Yeah, that's right.
The one that was running for no reason.
Yeah, doing a back
That's red flag number 1. It was running, and then the one where it just like squatted down.
Yeah, it was like it came up and then it squatted down behind the rock.
Yeah,
that was the only one out of anyone because they're all bullshit. But that was the only one that I would. Like if it was just standalone, I didn't know where it came from. That I might go, maybe.
Yeah.
The day watchers.
Or what? It makes more sense to just be like, instead of just standing there like. Hey.
Yeah. Like, hey, take a picture of me.
I mean.
Hold on, wait. I can't see it. Wait.
I know she's blinking her eye.
Yeah. She's winking.
She's winking at us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are the odds of getting like all those shots and then you say,
next to none because they fucking hate cameras.
But he's the expert, man. He's the best tracker. He's the best.
Oh no!
And he's formed a relationship with him because he gives them apples.
Yeah.
So
in the great state of Alberta,
probably Providence.
Yeah, is it a Providence?
They call him Providence up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Providence of
Alberta. But when I first started it. And as soon as it came on, I was done. I mean, as soon as it came on, I was like, "Yeah, this is a joke."
I was making fun of it when it first came on too.
I clicked on it to watch it because of the other names, like just see who's okay. What the fuck is going on?
I was like, I'm done.
Like I think I was doing something with my comics, and like Ash was calling me, "Hey, come look at this." I go, oh, Todd Standing, okay.
I mean, the music that he was playing, and when it had the subtitles on, it was like hard rock music playing, and I was like,
I gotta say this, I actually like the music.
I'm not saying that I don't like the music, just
you like a good instrumental.
Just how he had it, how he had it playing with him. Like you said, he was running through the water, and all of a sudden he'd dart right real quick, or he'd dart left real quick, and he was in his ghillie suit running around. I'm like,
he wasn't wearing that ghillie suit when he was out with Les Stroud, though.
Man, no, he was quiet when he was with Les.
Yeah,
he didn't say much
because you're with Survivor, man. He's not gonna be like, yep. He's not as easily
like he was trying to convince Les that there was like a tree that they walked up on and it looked like it had like claw marks on it. Mm-hmm. And Les was thinking it was like either a deer or a moose or a bear.
Yeah, more than likely a deer or something, Yeah. Rubbing.
And so he would say, no. There's 2 right here, so it's got to be fingers. No. And he's like, no. I mean,
because he wanted it to be a hand.
Yeah.
He couldn't put it into his head that maybe it's antlers, because they have a similar kind of sprawl, but not exactly the same thing like a hand.
Well, how about a bear? A bear does have 2 claws.
Well, and then I think it was in that same episode of Survivor Man Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Or the following one, but it was the same area. That the bears love those trail cameras, apparently, that they're attracted to the smell of the lithium batteries. And they show this thing. No, it wasn't there. But anyway.
It was like the one in like Tennessee or Texas, right?
Tennessee, I think.
Yeah.
But, it shows this thing and you just see like a hairy arm and then it picks it up and carries away and it's like beating it around and licking on it and stuff. And then eventually you see the whole face. But
right.
If you've never seen the face, I mean, that looks pretty.
Like a Bigfoot.
Because, Yeah.
So I just thought it was funny because like I think even Les said that Todd wants he wants to believe that that's what it is, a Bigfoot, and he's more into the truth, and he doesn't advocate for
and You know, people give him shit because, like, when this came out and stuff, he doesn't like negativity on his social media, and a lot of times he'll delete that stuff, and people's talking about, you deleted my comment, therefore you're associated with a fraud, and blah, blah, blah. Never once has he said that he believes him.
Right.
He just has, like, a neutral mentality about it.
He's on the fence.
Right.
But I respect him a great deal for that, because he doesn't care. He just wants the truth, and I'm all about that too. So I mean, that's cool. I mean, I was never a big Les Stroud fan until he started doing that Bigfoot series.
I was always a Les Stroud fan.
I don't know. I always like Bear Grylls. That was just me.
Because you like people that run in the woods. For
no. I like people that say vitamins.
Well, he's
military.
Canadian, so
Military.
But originally they made that Men versus Wild show for Les Stroud to be on that, and he's like, hell no, I'm not a movie star. I'm a documentarian. I'm not going to do that. And then he did his own show.
Bear Grylls is very much a movie star.
Yeah. He's like
still a cool show.
Yeah, it is a cool show.
But he doesn't give you as much.
But like he goes out of his way like to eat a bug and then chew it and then spit it out.
And drink his own pee.
Or like an eyeball. He'll eat an eyeball and see it spread out in his mouth, and he just goes.
Yeah.
Say, okay,
all this shit, running around and climbing on stuff and jumping on things. It's like, this is how you get killed in the wild. This isn't really how you survive unless you like do parkour and shit all the time and you're an athlete.
This is how you die.
Yeah, he's like what's his name? John Morrison version of the outside guy. That's what he is. So,
John Morrison.
He's parkour guy, man. You know,
parkour.
So he's running, jumping and stuff. So
he's sweet.
Yeah, he is. I love him. I love him as Johnny Mundo.
Yeah, Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
When he was on Survivor, that's what he did. He did a rundown of all his names.
Yeah,
and it took a while.
I know he had a bunch of them. And he got pretty far though. I was pretty impressed with. He
got 12th place, I think it was, and when he got voted out on that, it was just like because everyone else had an idol, and it was just like default 2 votes and shit.
Yeah,
I do recall you telling me whenever he was on it. I said, "Is there any other like celebrities?" You go, "I don't think one was a writer, but."
The guy that wrote School Rock.
Yeah, the guy that wrote. Yeah,
I was thinking to myself, I go, "He's gonna get voted off quick."
No, they have like football players on there.
Yeah.
All kinds of athletes on there all the time.
But that one show, he was the only like great athlete on there, right?
Right, but I mean like professional athlete.
Well, professional, yeah. There's a couple on there that were pretty. They were studs, man.
Yeah, they're always news. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I've got one more season to watch, and then I'll be caught up. The new one starts on the 12th, and it's all-star winners.
I think Todd Stanley would have probably got voted off really quick.
Man,
probably.
Yeah, because he loves himself.
They're like, why is he running? Why isn't he gathering firewood?
He's looking for an idol.
Yeah. Why is he standing on the ledge?
Suspicious. He would lie about having an idol and make a fake one and try to pretend and be like, tell Jeff Probst, like, no, it's real.
You know what would have made this guy a whole lot more credible if he didn't have these stupid pictures and these stupid videos.
Right.
If he would have just had the audio of the growls and the stuff like that, he might have had some credibility to it. But
I don't think he was looking for that. I think he was looking for.
I know what he was looking for.
Notoriety.
Yeah, absolutely. But you put out. I mean, if you look at these pictures, I've got them pulled up here on Google Images, and just looking at them, you can tell that this is not a creature that lives in the woods.
For people listening, all you have to do is go to Google and type in Todd Standing Bigfoot photos.
Yeah.
And you can see exactly what we're talking about.
Or just Google Todd Standing and hit images. And they all of them come up.
I keep scrolling and looking at all these different like memes of it.
Yeah, and this like Ash said, this one looks, you can so tell that this is not even a live creature. That it looks like some ancient caveman that's been frozen for.
It looks like a museum display.
It does.
Like it might very well be what that is.
Like a wax image or something.
That's exactly what it looks like. And it looks like something you would see in a museum of the cavemen that were walking around.
It looks like a fucking Ewok, yeah.
Well, actually,
it's wicked.
He actually looks like Chaka.
Chaka and Wicket had a baby.
Yeah,
it's so.
What's his name? What's his name? What's this thing name of his?
Baka.
Oh man, that's awesome. But there's tons of memes. Because like the one image of the Todd the Bigfoot with the one that blinks its eye. There's a lot of memes of that. Like one side it shows like the picture, and there's another picture that shows Todd standing. And they kind of blend it together.
They blend it, but then there's one with like crosses on each eye to see how they perfectly line up, and then his lips line up. Yeah.
I think I can't remember where, but I heard a rumor. This was a while back that Todd Standing was in the movie business, or he had flirted with the idea of doing like movie makeup and stuff. And then when I looked up his background on was it Wikipedia, nothing came up, and I looked up on LinkedIn what his background was, nothing came up either. I don't know, because I do recall hearing that on a forum somewhere, but I don't. Yeah. I was trying to find it like to do research for this show, and I couldn't find it. But I do recall hearing that he was like, I don't know how truthful that is. I'm just going off.
I heard that too. Yeah. You say that before his name, and I don't know who you're talking about first, probably, but.
And another thing that I noticed about these pictures is they all look different.
Yeah.
Like, none of them are the same.
No.
They're not even.
And it's supposed to be like the same region.
It's supposed to be the same region.
And it looks like total different subspecies.
And they look completely different. And I mean, this one that looks like the Chaka, like just has hair around its face.
Yeah.
Not fully on its face.
And those are the first ones, and as time proceeded on is when they got.
Yeah.
Maybe they actually started using people.
Maybe he has an interview or something.
Yeah,
maybe. and then the one that's blinking, that's supposedly blinked or winked or whatever, is like a reddish, brownish, and it's got hair everywhere.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Chewbacca.
Yeah, it looks a lot like Chewbacca. And then the one that he caught peeking behind the branch whenever his camera was dying is solid black.
Yeah, it looks like a gorilla.
And it looks just like a gorilla because there's no hair on its face.
Right.
So there's 3 different pictures of 3 different Bigfoot from the same region, and all 3 of them. Because I get that us humans, we look different. We come in all shapes, sizes, forms, all that, colors.
But we also have cars and airplanes.
Cars and airplanes.
That we can migrate easier.
But we can go somewhere and be with a completely different group of people very easily. But even still, we have... At least we look alike. Mm-hmm. At least we have the same features and the same. I mean,
especially get into a smaller. Use an example. Like there's a small town outside of the the slightly larger town that I live in.
Yeah,
or where I'm from. I remember my sister asking my mom why does everybody from Locksburg look exactly the same?
I'm not gonna say nothing on that.
Well, that's kind of why. It's not necessarily that they're interbred, but it's just that this cousin and this cousin that aren't related by blood, from marriage, or these other I have a double uncle and a double aunt because my grandparents dated and they were my grandpa's brother and my grandma's sister got married.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But
but in a small region like that, they should look, similar. There could be color variations, but I would think there wouldn't be like that big a variety in the breeding population.
Yeah. It's not going to go from this hairless face, lifeless Chaka thing to a reddish brown with hair all over its face to a black one with no hair on its face.
Maybe Chaka met the blue fairy and became a real boy.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Maybe he went into a pylon.
A pylon? Like a cone?
Yeah, it's from the Land of the Lost. That's what.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the pylons. They just hit the thing and the door opened.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
But this would be like you were saying. This would be more believable if, like he said, this one of them was in Alberta and the other one was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Something.
If he took them in different places, but these are all in the same region, and he said he traveled all over the North America and gave his little route, but I just don't believe that it's that far in variation of the different pictures in Bigfoot when he said he found them in the same region. And his favorite, he called it his hot spot.
Yeah.
And he didn't take Dr. Bendernagel and Dr. Meldrum to his hot spot. He took them
to that structure.
Yeah, to that structure. And you know, you mentioned earlier, Ash, that the more credible, and I mentioned it earlier. I think Robert mentioned it too. The most credible thing out there was Dr. Meldrum's shadow that he saw in the woods, and it wasn't caught. It wasn't caught on.
And I don't really understand why they didn't, because did he not say that he was looking at it through his camera?
Yeah.
And they never put that on the documentary.
Exactly.
They put him recreating it, and it's like, there you are telling us what happened. And it's like, well, where's the footage of him? I don't know if maybe he was just looking through his camera. You use the IR illuminator.
Yeah.
And wasn't recording at the time, because we do that, you know.
Yeah. But he did say that he was looking through his camera, and you know, and for Dr. Meldrum to walk, you know, to walk like it and all that, he almost had me there. I was like, okay.
That's probably like the best part of that.
Yeah, that's the best part of the whole thing.
So,
and I was like, okay. And then and he went and showed him the video, and he reconstructed the walk and all that, and it lined up perfectly to where Dr. Meldrum would have been looking, how he was facing, and the levels of the grass.
Yeah, I think at that point, I think Dr. Jeff Meldrum looked really relaxed, because this was actually his own thing, and he wasn't getting coaxed.
Yeah.
Or like projected. What, you know, because like he was really careful on what he was saying, because I don't know, it's a possibility, you know.
Yeah, he never once agreed.
They both were that way.
Yeah,
they're
both,
like, well, maybe, you know.
But he was the most relaxed, because it was his own sighting.
Yeah.
And it was his own thing, because like.
Yeah, they were giving lip service really hard, because that just makes me think when someone puts a picture of an orb in my face, and like,
yeah,
you don't want to hurt their feelings, because you know they went out and want to share. They're excited about it. They think it's real, and you don't want to break their heart. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, when Dr. Meldrum saw the video of how it lined up, because he had to leave before the next morning, and he actually told him to go back and retrace it.
Yeah.
And when Dr. Meldrum saw the video, when Todd brought him the video, you could see that he was legitimately surprised. He was like, "Oh wow, that totally lines up with what I was seeing."
Right.
But going back to what you said, Robert, it's because he was the one that saw it.
Yeah.
He wasn't made to believe it. He wasn't pushed to believe it. He wasn't forced into it, because he saw it. And to me, that's the most credible part of the entire hour and 50-minute documentary this guy does running around in the woods. So, and that was only maybe a 5-minute part of it, 5-minute section of the whole thing.
And then 20 minutes talking about a hole in the ground that's a footprint.
Yeah.
And moss.
Let's stick your foot in it. Come on, doctor, stick your foot in it.
It says here that he was working on another documentary called Bigfoot North, and that it somehow failed because his Kickstarter campaign failed. So I guess all of this negative stuff, I guess he didn't get enough money. And at the same time, in 2018, he sued British Columbia Providence for failure to acknowledge Bigfoot, therefore failing on protecting it as a species.
Yeah.
So
they threw that out too.
The lawsuit, it was thrown out.
Yeah, it was thrown out.
But I think I read somewhere, I can't remember where, but it said that the judge laughed and then threw it out. So, but I couldn't find it. I saw it. I read it, I think that night.
Right.
And I tried to find it again. I couldn't find it, but it was pretty funny.
But you know, sitting here talking about it, he's getting exactly what he wanted.
Attention.
He's getting attention. He's getting people talking about it.
He's actually, to be honest with you, he's got a lot of negative stuff, but he's actually, I don't know if he's going to do anything right now, but I know I read somewhere that he actually has a bona fide team now of real scientists that are working with him. And I don't know, maybe they want to be famous too. I don't know, but
I don't know.
It's possible, you know, or who knows, maybe they want to see what he's doing and try to figure out. Because that kind of seemed like, unless it's word again, that he's like he set up his cameras and stuff, it's like there's no way that something can come in here without getting caught. And if he's hoaxing it, then
I
think he kind of wanted to catch him in his lie.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's odd because I think when, I don't know, we haven't talked about this guy, Rick Dyer. He was the one that did the fake Bigfoot body in Georgia.
Yeah. Oh, the stuffed one?
Yeah, the stuffed one. Mm-hmm. And we'll do a show on him eventually down the road. But it seemed like whenever Rick was in the mainstream media or he was in the Bigfoot community and his time was like dying down, popped in Todd to fill his void.
Yeah.
It was just kind of odd. I don't know if they know each other, if they were like tag teaming or say, hey bro, I'm done.
I'm done. Tag, you're it.
Hot tag, you're in.
Hot tag, you're in.
So I don't know, but I think it's kind of funny.
I think he's an expert bullshit artist. I think he knows how to lead people.
Yeah, people who don't know anything about the woods.
He's definitely manipulative.
Because on that episode, they found that pad. It looked like they had cut for helicopters to bring in firemen. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, later that night, it's like, oh, I bet there's a reason I haven't been out here. And that I think they're in hint. And he wouldn't tell him. Or I think it was either that one or no, that was the reason why there wasn't anybody
Bigfoot
out there
time.
as much. Yeah, except for like maybe one juvenile. But he said the reason he didn't go back out was that incident with the flare. But that was also around the same time that people started giving him a lot of shit. But
what did he say about a helicopter coming down?
He said that
special forces.
He had found signs of people with boots on the ground. Yeah, not like hiking boots, like military.
Yeah,
boots.
because as soon as Les said that there was a cutoff for like helicopter for like a fire, they dropped out firefighters. So that same night she was saying that he came with a story about about government people on the ground and
that he was sitting at base camp and after he found all these people footprints out in the woods, and then he hears I guess a whole bunch of whoops, and then like he said like
machine
10
guns.
seconds of shooting and then screaming and then silence, and then this blacked out helicopter came in.
No lights. Came in, picked him up, and left. So.
Come on, man.
So his theory is that there's government people going out and killing off all of the population.
Come on.
So I don't think Les believed him at all. So it was kind of funny. It's like he's just because like he was kind of substituting because they weren't given any activity on these hot spots, and so that was his.
And especially not when he was there, I mean, some stuff happened too, but it was not ever definitive. But
right.
I don't think he let him stay with him overnight.
It's entertaining. I'll give it that.
It was definitely entertaining.
Shit.
It's like
I was watching a comedy.
I think I would rather.
It's like watch the Steve Zahn movie. Have you ever watched that? Strange Wilderness, I think it's called.
I haven't seen it.
It's so dumb, but it's so funny.
Yeah,
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
But
I'd watch it again just because of how corny it was. Y'all listening, just go watch. I know that you're going to give the guy credit and watching it and all that stuff because we're watching and talking about whatever. Bless his heart.
He doesn't
needs
have
it.
any friends.
Go watch it seriously.
Or if he does,
if you want to laugh, and what was really funny is whenever he was it was towards the end of it when he caught the black one behind the branch. He was reenacting whenever he got, and he was like, I dove in and got in position, and he like comes out of the like left side of the screen and dives on the ground. Yeah, and he slides. He's in his ghillie
all
suit,
perfectly in front.
Yeah. And then he was like, and then it startled me, and I took 2 steps back, and then it flashes back to him, and he like jumps back 2 steps. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. It's funny. It's definitely funny. If you want to laugh, go.
It seems like maybe he did have legitimate experiences in the past.
Right.
And no one would listen to him. And he's done all this stuff because he wants people to hear him. They want him to believe him, but he's what length?
Yeah, he's building his brand.
Right.
Yeah, but he's just... And okay, so the video of the one that was jumping up the side of the mountain or running through the mountains.
Animals don't move like that.
I guarantee you, if you take a video of him doing all his stunts running through the thing and put it up against that one running, it looks just like him running.
Yeah.
And black out that ghillie suit.
Exactly.
Because when was it? I think about in 2007, the bipedal one where the guy released a video of him in the ghillie suit just to kind of see what would happen with it.
Yeah.
It looked believable. And a lot of it's like the locomotion stuff. I forget how exactly just the way it moved. It's like that's a legitimate type of creature, hominid type creature, but it was just a dude.
Yeah, if you take that video of that supposed Bigfoot running up that mountain for, I guess, no reason anyway, I guess it may have been running from Todd because Todd's such a badass. I
actually wanted him to go running with him.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was just a reenactment. I didn't think it was actually footage.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All that stuff was just him like telling his stories or whatever, and that was just like a stand-in for, creative reasons. It's like, oh, those are the things that are supposed to be real. I thought this is just like a reenactment or whatever.
Because it looks just like him bouncing up that mountain and running and dodging and
this is kind of old, but I mean all these videos are all kind of old, but I like talking about it because the photos are kind of hoaxy. But Sasquatch detective Steve Coles, he's got his own website, Sasquatch Detective at .worldpress.com. If you go to his website and look up analysis and Todd Standing blinking Bigfoot, he's actually got it broken down pretty well. It's like it's more scientific than I understand because, Steve Coles, he does a lot of photography, so he knows a lot about it, and so he's broken it down pretty good. And his overall analysis is that it's a hoax. Yeah,
well, he's got it broken down to like the ISO of the camera and the what do you call it? What is it? Contrast, the different contrasts of each individual, like the branch in front is lit up at this contrast and the back one's behind it, so it can't be on the same. Man, he's got it broken down pretty good.
He's got a couple graphs on it, and I think a couple of like property pages and stuff on it. It's pretty good, and it's but all in all, I think he ends the article saying, in conclusion, it's a hoax. So,
well, like he says here, because it says section 1, examining camera settings. It says the still of the video is not a still at all, but in actuality was a photograph taken with a Canon model EOS 60D. And then he said the photo was taken on May 9th, 2011 at 4:59 p.m., believed to be the same time zone as Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And then this is where he goes into the ISO speed. He says the ISO speed was 100, meaning you are in need of longer exposure time, not a speed you would set your photographic equipment for something that would move fast.
It would blur.
Yeah. He says something move fast, such as a Sasquatch, deer, or student running a track race, something I have experience with. He said this is the lowest ISO setting. Also needed for this exposure is ample light, which the plant matter in the front appears to have plenty, unlike the subject in the background. So yeah, he breaks it down, and then he just goes all out into it, and he says it's a fake.
Well, I haven't talked to Steve in a long time, and he's a pretty good dude. He's based out of, I think, New York, state of New York, and he was actually, just a fun fact, he was actually involved finding out the Rick Dyer stuff about the hoax in Georgia. He actually was the one that found out it was a hoax before anybody else did.
Really?
Yeah, and so he had it on the show, and I remember he was calling myself and I think Matt Knapp about it. I think Matt had him on speed dial, and we talked to him a couple of times, and it's kind of interesting. But I haven't talked to him in a long time. But he's actually a really good dude, and he kind of if he reminds me of anybody, it'd be like Les Stroud, because he doesn't care about sides. He just wants the truth and stuff. But I gotta talk to him about his name. Name of his show though. Sasquatch Detective. I'm not down with that, but that's me.
Whatever. Why?
Because he's in the state of New York.
Oh, because it's Sasquatch.
Yeah.
But what does he detect? Does he detect specifically that? Just because he's in New York doesn't mean he don't go check out stuff in
I don't know,
the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
It's not New Texas, not New Texas.
I'm gonna keep it open for
like,
now.
When they said Sasquatch like, and they were in Tennessee and Texas, it's like he didn't say Sasquatch was there. They said Sasquatch like creatures.
Can't get nothing by her, man.
Hey.
It's
not New Texas.
Man, I'll stand up for my boy Les, man.
I hear you.
I love him.
But all in all, he's a pretty good dude.
Yeah.
I think he started off his show on Block Talk Radio for the longest time.
What are you talking about? Steve Coles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still doing a podcast though.
And his name is Steve Coles. Last name's like Skulls.
Yeah.
Without the S.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
Like he usually dresses up in like he's in the military.
Well, here it looks like he's in the military.
I have a trench coat and like a hat and a magnifying glass. So.
I want to get a hat that has a card on it that says Bigfoot on it? Question mark.
Like the Riddler.
Like the old press guys used to do, like in the 30s and 40s. They would have a card right here.
A fedora.
Yeah, a fedora with a thing.
With a card.
Yeah.
That's what I said. He needs to have his fedora.
I don't know. That's being corny.
And his trench coat and a magnifying glass, or a deerstalker hat. And a
deerstalker hat and a pipe. Yeah.
Hey, we're like 46 minutes in.
46 seconds.
46 seconds. Sorry. So, you guys want to jump subjects?
Man, I'm here for the ride.
Oh man.
Do you want to talk about what?
I'm actually about to go get me something to drink because my throat's
go ahead.
a little dry.
We have Coke Zero and expired Shriner Buck.
There's water in the fridge too.
And in the tap.
There's water.
Hater bills.
So what were you asking, Ash?
Oh shit, I don't know.
What do we talk? What do we want to talk about?
I don't know. I asked you, what did you want to talk about? You sounded excited to talk about something.
We could talk a little bit about last weekend's investigation a little bit.
And how everything got foobarred.
Yeah. Everything foobarred.
Did you talk to everybody else about if they had anything on their stuff, or was it just
I didn't. I haven't. I need to reach out to Claudia. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen her on, to be honest with you.
Well, you can still message her.
Yeah, and there was that other girl. I can't think of her name. Ruckus.
Yeah.
Nancy Ruckus, I think, or Ruckus Nancy or something.
I don't.
I'm
lucky that I remember my own name.
So
you're supposed to go beforehand.
Yeah.
God, that's your kid, man.
So yeah, I think we can talk about what happened and the debacle and not the debacle, but it's like
situation why we don't have any
synchronicity
any EVPs for you this week.
Yeah, because we were supposed to like go over EVPs tonight. On the two locations, Smith Cemetery and Shelton Bear Creek Cemetery, because I had a digital recorder. Tanya had a digital recorder. Chris had a digital recorder. So
I brought myself, and that's why I got to sit in the chair, right? Because I didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
No, because I wasn't going to let anyone else do it.
I was gonna talk you out of that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't going to happen because I was going to do it.
I know. I was gonna attempt to talk.
If I had started to have like a bad feeling or whatever, I would have ended it myself. Okay. But I wanted, because that was my concern too. Was I was like, oh, I want to do it, but I'm afraid it might fuck with my anxiety or something, or like give me some sort of,
or maybe something would hitch a ride and come home with you.
Well, I don't know. I've never had that experience, and I've been in a lot of quote unquote active places. I don't know, man. It's just that's not really something that I too very much worry about.
Well,
honestly,
I'm gonna cue the music.
Okay, cue the music.
Here we go. The paranormal. Yeah.
Yeah. So funny thing about that, our observations of the two cemeteries.
Yeah.
So I got home and I was crazy tired. So I just took out my clothes. I took a shower and I threw my clothes in the dirty clothes hamper. And a couple days later, I went to wash my clothes and guess what was in my pocket?
Your digital recorder?
Digital recorder. So I washed it and dried it. So yeah, all of my video is gone.
You mean audio?
Audio, not video. See, I'm tired, man. All of my audio gone.
It is odd because like I have like a old Sony, and no, it's a RCA digital recorder, and I've been trying to download it and it won't let me download it, and now I try to download it now and it won't even recognize it now. So,
and then Tanya, her first all her recordings from the first cemetery are just like this buzzing, humming noise.
yeah, I think I have it right here. I can play it real quick.
I mean, it's like really weird.
Is it like that with both cemeteries or just yeah?
That's it right there. That's what she.
The sound.
Yeah, that's all it is from the her. Yeah.
I'm going to change it over to Shelton's.
I think she got Shelton, so I can talk to her about any audio she wants to share with us. We can play it because I can't even download mine, so I don't know what's the deal.
I still want to listen to it, though. I just want to listen to my session.
Yeah, that's the one that's not playing, so you wouldn't be able to hear it.
Really?
Yeah, because that's.
I mean,
the one
even on. Could I listen to it on your recorder?
I don't know. I mean,
possibly.
Because the girls were doing video, but I think they were exploring.
Yeah.
When you were doing your session.
Well, I mean, you recorded it, didn't you?
I did.
I could just listen to it. I mean, for myself.
Yeah, I can give it to you.
Because I only heard one in.
I can play.
Yeah.
I can play it, but I can't download it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can't analyze it. So, I can definitely give it to you. You can listen.
But it's just almost like something doesn't want us to.
Yeah, in a
to
way.
hear.
Or it could. I mean.
It's.
I think that too sometimes, but then at the same time, it's like shit happens, man. You know.
Yeah, like you're tired.
Like both of those places weren't very conducive for that sort of thing. You know,
Yeah.
They had all the traffic at the older one, and then that one there was all kinds of So I had that big that cell. I guess is a cell tower or whatever it was, and that was right there, and then all those. Like constructing like the auto shops and stuff, and who knows what kind of equipment and stuff they have in there that could interfere with things.
It's just odd. It was just odd because
but it happens. You know, had a similar thing happen when we investigated a movie theater because there's so much electrical equipment in there. Obviously, you know, it's just like this buzz the whole time, and it made it extremely difficult to hear anything, which is a shame because we got a lot of video evidence and sightings and stuff like that, but we didn't get any audio that was worth a shit.
You know what was really odd about that deal, and because I know we talked about it our last show about how we got there and we walked it, and you walked toward the back, right? And
it was kind of the graves are U-shaped, and I guess because the road was in the middle. Well, I assume it's a road if it was well traveled, but so everything's either in the back or on the sides, and you can drive in through that fence. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when we were walking back there, you know, I was just wanting to walk the perimeter and get a feel. Reading and get a feel of things and see what's going on and where I wanted to park it.
Right.
And lo and behold, I start sinking into the ground in a fresh grave.
Yeah.
Which is, I got to say it first, because most of the time we go into places that the graves are either more well marked or it's more well lit. Mm-hmm. Of course, I didn't have a flashlight. I don't give a shit. I just walk around in the dark. Of course, it wasn't really dark out there too bad. It's like it was really well backlit, but most of the time we go into historic cemeteries, so they're in there pretty good already.
they're packed in there.
Yeah, it'd be hard to dig them up and shake them.
So
my nephew, whenever he was little, we were trying to explain what a cemetery was to him, My sister's like, it's just when people get really, really old, they just go to sleep for forever, and we put them in the ground. And he's like, just stick them up and shake them.
I don't think we want to do that.
No thanks. I'll pass.
But it was just kind of odd how you kind of sank into that grave, and then we told the story about Caitlin and Candace. They walked the cemetery whenever you were doing your session with the Estes, and Caitlin, she stepped in the same hole that you fell into, or you had stepped into, and she noticed that the grave, the guy that was buried there he passed away on her birthday. And the guy's name, I won't say his name. Did we say his name last time?
I think we said his name last time.
His first name, right?
I think so.
So it was Ozell, and so we go to work on Monday, and Caitlin is talking to our boss, and she tells us she tells our boss what's going on, and we went to the cemetery, and she you stepped into the grave. She stepped in the grave, and she said, yeah, this guy name was Ozell, and she says, well, who? Because Ozell, and she said his last name, and turns out that Lisa, our boss, was working with that guy at her previous job. And
It's crazy.
Yeah.
it's like when she told me that, my hair was standing up. It's like,
And then he was a ball boy for the Dallas Cowboys. So, like, for a long time, he was a ball boy for the Dallas Cowboys. And I was like,
man, my hair was standing up whenever they told me that.
Yeah.
I called Tanya like right away, and I told her.
one of the reasons why Caitlin was so like caught on the fact that he was a ball boy is because one of the things that came through on the Ovilus was score. And she was like,
oh yeah.
yeah. And she was like, why would score come across? What does that have to do with it? And then she found out that he was a ball boy for the Dallas, and she was like, she was kind of freaked out about it. So another really cool thing that Caitlin found when she did some research is, if you remember when we were at the Shelton's Bear Creek, Sam was the first one that came through. And he said that he was buried in that little walled off section of that cemetery. Well, I can't remember her name. I wish I would have wrote it down. But anyway, the woman that owned that land, that bought that land, Sam was her son.
Right.
Yeah. Sam was the woman who owned that land originally, that bought the land. Sam was her son. And what's funny is the last name was, I don't know if I want to say the last name.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything.
Well, for these landowners, from when?
When there used to be a plantation,
right?
And when the plantation was there,
I'm pretty sure that information they'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With the you'll be able to say that you'll be able to figure out the last name if you look it up. But yeah, there used to be a plantation, and the woman that owned the plantation, it was her son's name was Sam.
The one with the
shells, and his last name is close to Shell. So
wow.
It was
synchronicity.
Yeah, a lot of synchronicity going on, and I thought it was really cool that she actually found documentation that Sam was buried there, and
she's good, man.
Yeah,
but that they actually was documentation that he was actually buried there, or
yeah,
like literally.
I gotta ask her
in
for
that
the link.
spot, but
yeah.
I mean,
Or just that he was connected to the land.
I believe, again, I'll have to ask her because I don't remember exactly what she said, but I believe she said there was documentation that he was buried there.
Yeah, I was gonna say there, because I mean, there's not a lot of grave markers because it looked like they used the sandstone ones that I think it's sandstone that they used to use because it was cheap, but it wears off really easy.
Right.
But I'm sure somewhere there's bound to be records of who's buried there. Because I mean.
Yeah,
I want to say it wasn't that long ago, but it's like
it should be public record.
Yeah.
So,
but when she found out this family, she started doing research on the family, and that's when she found out that she found the documentation that he's buried there. And I can't say for sure that she said that, but that's what I remember her saying. And she might have just said that Sam was in cahoots with these people. But his mom, Sam's mom, owned the land.
Well, regardless, he has a connection to
Yeah,
it.
he has a connection to that area.
I wish I knew what that guy on the Smith Cemetery, what the most recent guy that passed away, what his connection is with that cemetery.
Oh yeah, because he's not a Smith, but
yeah,
It still might be family.
might be family.
Yeah.
Somehow might have been just a really close friend, something like that. But there was a lot of things that lined up that just was really, really weird to me after that. Whenever we started just kind of going back and talking about things and discussing stuff, and the craziest thing is walking in Monday morning and our boss was like, "Oh, I worked with that guy," and I was like,
Yeah,
"That's crazy."
It's a small world, man, when it comes to...
yeah.
When
Because she's originally from Irving.
yeah.
She's originally from Irving, and she lives in Grand Prairie now. But just kind of odd, man. It's just like
Well, once you start going down the rabbit hole, you can let yourself keep tumbling, and it just keeps going.
it just
Yeah.
seems like ever since we started this show, ever since we started doing stuff, it's just a lot of stuff just line up, or it's just
Right.
coincidence,
I don't know. I feel you.
it's just weird. So I'm if I get a phone call from Ingrid Cole,
It would be awesome.
It
Because
would.
he seems like a really nice guy.
yeah,
I called this guy at work. I call him that because one of the nicknames for him was the Smiling Man.
uh-huh.
And this guy has always got like a huge, huge, huge smile.
It's kind of
Like, it's not creepy. It's just normal. And it's funny. It's like all the illustrations that they have of him depicted, Ingrid of that, the Smiling Man or the Grinning Man or whatever.
that still
It's like
sounds
he makes them sound sinister, but it's like they've never, ever, ever, anyone that's allegedly ever met him and his sons and whoever, I think he had like 2 companions too, allegedly. They were always nice.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when people draw pictures of him from their descriptions, they like make them scary.
yeah.
And that's ridiculous, but
That still sounds
what's
that still sounds
sensationalized.
kind of scary though.
just because he's a nice guy that
No,
smiles a lot.
that every description of him smiling, that's kind of creepy.
When
I
you're
mean,
approaching someone and trying to be nice to them, what do? Why is it creepy? Why does it have to be creepy? I think if you take away the creepy elements in these cryptids or whatever they
Yeah.
may be, then you can get past that. Oh, it's a scary, scary thing. Oh, and just get down to it's a person.
it's still creepy.
Then it
man.
makes it easier. No, you're creepy,
Yeah, these pictures of him smiling are pretty creepy.
but they're artist rendering.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh, it's an alien monster, whatever. But it's just a dude, man. It's just a nice dude that likes to smile and is friendly and wants to give you knowledge
Yeah.
and warn you about bridge collapses and disasters and shit. I mean, name one sinister thing that he's actually alleged to have done.
I don't
There
know.
isn't one.
Smile really creepy.
Well, no one ever said it was a creepy smile.
No
just
one-
that he was always smiling.
That he was always smiling. Yeah, all these pictures are just really. But I mean, again, that sells. Creepy
Yeah.
sells.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, it does.
It's kind of like on Harry and Henderson when he's like, his dad asked him to draw the big standee, and he draws it to form like what he looks like, and then his dad's like, nope, don't work, and he draws blood all over it and big teeth and claws and stuff, and it's like that's what we want people because they're trying to sell
yeah.
guns,
Fangs and claws
Yeah.
and drool and.
blood.
I might have seen that movie a few times.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
that is a
I
great
love it,
movie.
yeah.
That's a great movie.
Especially the ending because I'm like, yep, that's probably what it's like.
Yeah.
They're all just standing right there,
Yeah,
just
you-
slightly turned around.
You
You
think
can't see their face, and then they just walk in.
you kind of think it's like a tree, but it's not. So
Yeah.
My kids love that movie too.
yeah, I love it too.
My favorite part is when he sticks his head out and he does the siren.
Yeah.
I love that part.
It is so funny because like the things that always grabbed me on that movie was he was watching a lady boil a chicken, like, and he saw a lady walking into his
In the hot tub.
and he looked really worried and stuff. So
He
funny.
got freaked out because he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my goodness!" They're gonna cook her.
Yeah.
Because the guy was behind her, like helping her in. You know?
Or like there was a scene where he supposedly like the very next morning there was like police there doing a casting, and John Lithgow's character was walking around the corner and says, "Harry," and there was the guy who was pouring the casting. Yeah. Oh no, never mind. So I thought that was really, really funny. That's just stuff like that was really funny. How did we get into talking about that?
I don't know.
Because they demonized them.
That's right. For money. That's right.
Right. Oh man.
Yeah, we're trying to sell guns here, and they made them all evil looking. But my favorite part's when he's the siren. Yeah. I love that part.
So, anyway,
I think we got on there because you said Indrid Cold, and then we started talking about something. I don't know.
demonizing.
Yeah.
Demonizing. Yeah.
Scary when there's nothing.
Yes.
There's not a single thing about him that's scary other than he's otherworldly.
Yeah. That's how we got there. If you look at this cup. Look at the mountains. What does it look like?
The Mountain Dew.
A face.
Yeah.
What is that called? I forget.
Looks like the ones at the
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
what's it called, that island? The one that has the
Easter Island.
Easter Island.
Yeah.
That's what it looks
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Taco Bell
Easter Island.
logo
Yeah.
is actually secretly
What does that one
a
look like?
face.
a Bigfoot.
No.
That's one right here.
Yeah.
Looks like a stocky head. I don't know. Broad shoulders.
What does it look like?
A dialect. I don't know. I'm going Doctor Who.
I guess I'm just really tired
We got.
because it looks like a boob to me.
It looks like okay. I was looking for a face, but
It looks like
the
a
top of
boob.
bells look like boobs.
Yeah, look, it looks like a boob.
Yep. It's like
So,
look, boobies.
Chris wants to
And
go eat
that's where
Taco
we
Bell.
found
I got Taco Bell before
taco
the.
boobs.
And so he's got a
Taco
cup
boobs.
and he's trying
Taco and boobs. Strip clubs.
to describe.
I was gonna say you took the words right out of my mouth. It sounds like a strip club. It's like a Mexican strip club.
So we got a lot of time.
Chicas locas.
We got a lot of time.
No, this is filler, so
Yeah.
it's all filler. No, that was last week.
Yeah.
Maybe not do that.
What do you guys want to talk about?
I don't know. We were supposed to just be talking about bad documentaries, but we only watched one.
Yeah, we only
'Cause we tired.
we only watched one.
I
and-
started watching good documentaries, and
Yeah, Les Stroud stuff's really, really good.
I love it.
Was that just one season?
I think it was just season 6 of Survivor Man.
How many episodes was that? Do you remember? 10?
Maybe something like that. I don't know. I think I'm on 4 or
I
5.
need to rewatch that. That's
Yeah.
so good.
There's a lot of just his regular episodes I haven't seen, like the one where he's in, I think it's India,
Yeah,
and he had to climb a fucking tree because there's a tiger circling underneath him.
because they can only jump so high. I think it's like 11 feet, which is really fucking high.
It is.
So you got to get, if you can get above that on the tree, you'll be fine. But because they're too big to climb.
Talk about Temple of Doom.
I would
So
like, no, that's more scary than going.
So the
after Bigfoot.
whole season is about Bigfoot.
yeah,
Yeah.
season 6.
Yeah,
Wow.
he had I whenever he was doing his show, he was doing like a blog, and I remember this. He was in Alaska, and he wrote on his blog, and it got a lot of attention. It was overnight. He was in like a tent, and he heard like a chest slap. Like we used to do that when we first did the TBRC. We used to do chest slaps. We don't do it so much anymore, but he heard like a really big chest slap and like some growls. And so he thought it was Bigfoot. And I recall someone that pointed out to me with the TBRC. I said, hey, Les Stroud, he had an incident. You should check out his blog. And so I think I read it, and it's really interesting. I think after that, then it kind of snowballed, and he did that season.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know it was the whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had 2
Yeah.
encounters because there was one where he was with one of his, I think, now ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
Where I can't remember. I think it was a tree got broken or something like that. Something that he wouldn't think. It's like one of those things that at first he's like, oh, that's kind of, maybe not normal.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's out eating all the time, and that's probably why he recognized that chest flap for what it is, because of all the places that he's been all over the world. He's probably encountered great apes and things like that, you know. It's like, well, that's a little out of place for Alaska, you know.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome that he did that. And
Yeah.
I think, you know, hopefully he does more seasons like that.
I'll see. I don't know if he's doing something right now for PBS where it's about finding food in nature. It's pretty cool. I seen yesterday he posted where they found this spot with like 100,000 mussels all over the sides and stuff, and like all kinds of stuff. Like, yeah, I want to check that out too. Where that's interesting. I want to know more about things like that. You know, just being able to go out in nature and find broken microphones.
That kind of scared me.
that definitely startled me.
You know what I love about him, because like he's mostly by himself, right?
Right.
And
I
so,
think on the Bigfoot stuff, I don't think so, because he was dealing with a lot more equipment than he normally would, trying to set up camera traps and stuff, and need people to help haul him stuff in and whatever. But most of the time, it's just him and maybe 2 or 3 cameras.
right.
He'll set up a shot and whatever, and walk over here, and then have to come back and come get it, and yeah.
Because I think when he was with Todd, I think it was him and Todd.
I think that
and him and Todd were kind of separated.
Yeah, whenever they were doing their like prelim walk around, but I don't think that Todd was with him overnight.
Yeah, because like there was a couple times when I was watching with you that he was just walking down a trail by himself in the dark.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about this stuff, you know, being alone and you know, having anxiety and stuff like that. And then he would stop and he would listen. And so I used to, whenever I was in the field, I used to do that all the time. Just walk around, be talking to somebody, go, hold on, stop, listen. Okay.
You just wanted to be less drowned.
I think I just heard a hoot, or I think I just heard a growl or something. So I thought it was cool that he would do that. He would like walk and talk about stuff, and then hold on.
Yeah.
It's real still right now. So
I liked his filming techniques because he put a camera on his back.
Yeah.
While he was walking.
Yeah.
And so he was filming. He had like one on. He's got like this little strap mechanism. I'll have one on his chest. And I think he had one on his chest, one on his back, and then one handheld too. So he had all angles pretty much covered.
360.
Yep. And I liked his camera trap setups. He has like these little fake birds that have camera lenses in them.
The grouse.
And then he puts grouse scent on them so they smell real.
Yeah.
And he like buries his because I guess it might be wireless systems, because it's the lenses. He just put them in the trees and in these fake birds and stuff, and then all the stuff recording equipment, and he puts it in a plastic box and buries it underground so that it's not making a lot of noise.
Yeah. That's good stuff. I mean, that's good that he actually had a camera. I remember when I went up to Newcomerstown, Ohio for the 12th annual Bigfoot conference, Don Keating was running that conference, and he had a segment during because he was like the main guy. He was the main guy doing a conference, but he had a segment of the conference where he was recording something in that neighboring area, and he had his camera to the side, and he was doing like, I guess, the environment, like what was in the area, like ponds, and he was talking. So he was just trying to think what he was going to say, and you know, he showed us on his video that it was like a trail, maybe like 30 yards from where he was at, and it was Bigfoot walking up this trail, and he caught it, and he never knew he caught it.
Right.
And he was like, years later, he was going through the video and he saw it, and it was a white skinned Bigfoot. It was like, it had white hair, and it was like you could see it like walking up the road. And he like during the conference, we actually stopped the conference and we went out to the area where he saw it. And he showed us exactly where he was standing and where he had the camera. And so some of us went up the road or that trail, and we're standing there, and it was like an incline, or like it was going down.
Right.
And this thing was going down, and so I stood over there, and you couldn't even see me. Shit. You couldn't even see from where he was standing. He was doing a camera, and like whatever this thing was
so y'all were trying to reenact it.
Yeah, we were trying to reenact it. I think this thing was probably like, I don't know, 8-9 feet tall.
If that, but
so,
it's probably, if it's all gray and stuff, probably old as shit too.
So it was kind of funny how you were saying about, you know, he put the camera behind him.
That's an easy mistake to make.
Man,
We're trying to break our
I know you guys are scaring me tonight.
I'm trying to get comfortable in this chair. Sorry.
So when
My back hurts from painting.
Whenever you're saying that he put the camera behind him, and that kind of reminded me of that
because like we were talking about yesterday, how no matter what you do, they always figure out a way to be behind you.
Yeah.
And to follow you, even if they were ahead of you, they will wait. They'll go around and they'll get behind you and follow you.
If you see one, most likely, if you see one like ahead of you or making sounds ahead of you, most likely there's one behind you too. So,
it's always comforting.
Luke used to always tell Luke used to always tell us that. He used to always tell us whenever we were in the field and we thought we were being confronted by a Bigfoot, like at a distance, we'd always say face to face with each other, so you can have one person looking behind the other person looking behind you, to make sure you could see a Bigfoot. But he used to tell us that, hey, make sure you're face to face, so you can look both directions and stuff like that. I go, okay.
Could you be back to back?
Huh?
You could be back to back.
But you don't want them to notice that you're there, or you notice them. So you want to just pretend like you're still talking.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
So whenever
misdirection.
Whenever you're in the field and you sense that they're around you and they're curious about what you're doing, you just keep out pretending like you're just having a conversation.
Got you.
So that's what he used to say. Just talk and just look behind me.
And they'll go.
Yeah.
No. What was that? That guy in Tennessee had that weird ass language audio too. That he got. And he said it sounded like a male and a female just arguing. Like they weren't mad at us. They were just between each other really hardcore.
It didn't sound anything like any stuff that I played or any stuff that I've heard.
What's that movie? It's an awesome movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's got Brad Pitt and he plays the gypsy.
Snatch.
Snatch, yes.
Do you like dogs?
You like dags?
You like dags?
You like dags?
What do you think we are with dogs? We're thieves.
I don't know why I just thought of that, but he talks weird in that movie. Yeah.
They use the Celtic tree oracle, so why not? They might have a really, really heavy what did they have? Pikey. Yeah. I don't think that might be a derogatory term.
Yeah, I think
gypsy.
Well, not even really. That kind of is too, because they're not of that descendant, but they're Irish travelers.
They're like nomads.
Right? Nomads,
Irish travelers.
Irish travelers, but I think pikey is definitely a derogatory term. But yeah, that I don't know why I just thought about that, but it just popped in my head.
Dogs.
You like dags?
That is a great movie.
It is a great movie.
I love the dog in that eats the sweetie toy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I like that, and that King Arthur movie that came out not that long ago with Charlie Hunnam in it. Like it flopped, but it's like if you actually were a fan of Guy Ritchie's movies, like that one, it had that tone to it. But I don't think I've seen that one.
I don't think
I liked it.
Britt saw it, and I think Britt liked it.
It flopped, but I think people weren't expecting a Guy Ritchie fantasy. I think they were just expecting like fucking Game of Thrones or some shit, and that's not what it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Britt watched it, and I think she liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. And I mean, it was supposed to be, I think, a 3-part movie, so it's kind of open ended. But they just
she loves Charlie Hunnam.
I've loved him since Undeclared.
I don't know.
In 2001, that was like the Judd Apatow series. It was like one season, like what he did after Freaks and Geeks. His little baby Charlie Hunnam on there. The first time she saw him was in Sons of Anarchy, and we watched every episode of that. And that's why I watched it.
I was so mad at the finale. I hated it.
That's how it had to end, though.
It had to. The way it was set up, it had to end like that.
We were just talking about that the other day.
But I haven't watched it.
You should. It's really good. If you like The Shield, which I know you didn't like the way that ended.
I didn't like the way it ended.
The way that Sons ended was just there was no other way. Or else it wouldn't have been over.
Yeah. It had to be. I didn't like how they did it.
Yeah.
But
it was.
I tell you what, that was
painful circle.
Towards the end, man, that show got crazy.
Oh God, yeah.
It got crazy, but it was good.
I cried a lot.
That whole series was awesome. Mm-hmm. But that's where she first saw Charlie Hunnam, and she's liked him ever since.
That show made him lose his British accent. When he was doing King Arthur, he had to have a dialect coach to let him get it back because for so long he'd spoke without his accent on that show. It just went away.
You know what's crazy? So crazy. Rick in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
When his real voice is like nothing like his Rick voice.
It's kind of, I think, easier for people that are British to be Southern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than it is just to be like non-accented American.
It is so different.
I remember him from
What's his name? Andrew Lincoln?
Yeah.
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 Not Andrew Todd Lincoln, that's Mary. But that's what my brain always says is Andrew Todd Lincoln. But it's like, no, it's Mary.
I always say Lincoln.
Lincoln.
But
What was it? Oh, Love Actually. He was in that movie. The Christmas movie. He plays the guy that is the best friend of one of the guys that get married and shows up at their house on Christmas and has like all these cards for his wife because he's secretly in love with his best friend's girl.
Charlie Hunnam was in
No, that was Andrew Lincoln.
Oh, I was so confused because I thought I was like that's Andrew Lincoln, not Charlie
that's
Hunnam.
Andrew Lincoln.
Oh, I was so
That's
confused.
the first thing I remember seeing him in.
that sounds like serendipity a little bit, almost in a way.
Kinda, but that's a good movie. It's one of those that has like all different, like 3 or 4 different smaller stories that kind of come together at the end. But it's a good Christmas movie.
I was really confused there for a second.
Charlie Hunnam, first thing I saw him in was Undeclared. It was a like college type movie.
But I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the King Arthur one.
I haven't.
Which is surprising because that's my favorite time period in history.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wouldn't have watched it. And I like Charlie Hunnam. I want to see that new movie he's in.
Yeah.
What, Knives? Is that what it's called? No, The Gentleman.
Yeah.
The Gentleman.
Yeah, that actually looks
Knives
pretty
Out's
good.
got
Knives
Chris
Out.
Evans.
Chris Evans, yeah.
I just watched it the other day. It's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's a like a murder, not really a murder mystery, but kind of.
Wasn't it supposed to be like Clue? Kind of.
The beginning starts where Maid walks in and finds this guy with his throat cut, and it's this older author, and he writes murder mysteries like that, and it's kind of set up like exactly what actually did happen to him and why he's dead in the movie, but there's other things that led up to the events to where that happened, where it didn't have to happen the way it did. And yeah,
I want to see that too.
It's got him. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it. It's got Don Johnson, my namesake.
Oh yeah,
Don Johnson.
My sister thought I was named after because my middle name is Dawn.
Not D-O-N, right?
No, but yeah, I was named after Don Johnson.
But yeah, the Gentleman.
But not spelled that way, right?
Right.
Okay.
We literally just went over that. Robert.
I want to see that. The Gentleman with Charlie Hunnam.
That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I might actually see that.
I want to watch his.
You're gonna watch a non-comic book movie?
Holy
Maybe.
shit.
What?
It's got
he did a remake of Papillion, which is like my
it's
favorite.
got Matthew in it, right?
Huh?
It's got Matthew
McConaughey,
That's the only reason why I'm going to watch it.
All right. No, I thought you meant the Papillion one he did with Romany Malek. But that's my favorite Steve McQueen movie, and that's the reason why he wanted to do it, is because he's a Steve McQueen fan.
Remy
That's
Malek.
my favorite part.
I like him.
Yeah.
Steve McQueen?
No, Remy Malek. He was.
Remy
also
Malek.
Steve McQueen.
What?
Who's Remy Malek?
He did Mr. Robot. I love that series.
That's Remy Malek.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He did Mr. Robot. It's great.
And
It's a great show.
He did Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing I saw him in was like this TV show. I can't remember what it's called, but it was Michael Rappaport did a sitcom, and he played a little closet case gay boy that was in love with their son. Mm-hmm. He was just this cute little stoner boy, and he was adorable.
Well, he turned into Freddie Mercury.
Oh yeah,
I can tell you that.
Well,
I was so mad, because I'm a huge Queen fan, and it took so long, and they went through so many directors, and so many, Sacha Baron Cohen was supposed to be the first, was the first major person that they had for him. That's perfect because he's a singer. He lost all this weight, and he looked a whole lot like him. But they're Brian May was no, it's wrong. He got into an altercation with him about I think he wanted to concentrate more about his sexuality and stuff because that's important, you know.
Yeah.
Because the
Well, he's a good actor. I loved him in Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
That's one of the best shows I've ever watched.
but yeah, it took
Mr.
about
Robot. I don't know if I ever watched Mr. Robot.
It's on USA.
yeah.
It's a TV series.
Yeah, it was. It went. It just finished. It was like did 4 seasons. It was great. It's like a.
I was supposed to be quiet. My bad. Throwing stuff away.
It's like a version of Dexter, but he's like a computer guy, and he could affect people's lives by hacking them.
Is Dexter the
Serial killer. Serial killer.
He's the one. Yeah, he's the one that kills the serial killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't watch a lot of TV series. The only one that I really watch is This Is Us.
well, it came on like right after, like SmackDown. So you would have. If you'd watch SmackDown,
I probably wouldn't have because
Who watches SmackDown?
I'd have fell asleep during SmackDown because it's
People that are
flipping boring.
on SmackDown don't watch SmackDown.
Well,
Yeah, people that participate in SmackDown don't watch SmackDown.
Well,
Yeah.
you gotta watch it because we gotta talk about it.
Well, you know, I can talk about how much I don't want to watch
If
it.
nothing's going on, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
You know? Well, they did this weird thing for way too long, and it didn't have any relevance to any of the storylines or plot points, or
Yeah.
they just kept doing this shit, and nothing came out of it, and then commercial, and that's pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. That's our next segment, by the way.
Our next
Okay.
segment. all I want to talk about is Bowling for Soup.
So Britt just posted like a long time. I don't know when she posted. I don't know, but she put it. Oh wait, my dad posted it. Okay, so my dad posted this thing. It says, "The funny thing is, when you don't let people disrespect you, they start calling you difficult," which is really, it's true. But the person behind it is Tom Hardy. All right.
Yeah.
So Britt writes underneath it, "This is Chris Colleps' man crush."
Isn't that also Stevens?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
He likes
Stevens.
him and Paul
Stevens.
Walker, R.I.P.
but I'm a huge Tom Hardy. I love Tom
Yeah.
Hardy. Everything Tom Hardy does.
He's a
is-
good character actor.
Is good. He's very, and his series that he did, Taboo.
Taboo's great.
Man, it was awesome. It's awesome.
I love the music in that.
And
I love the story, and I love how dark it is.
I love how dark it got
And it-
really quick.
And they attach it to history.
Yeah,
That's what I love about
it's
it.
awesome, man, and it's so well
yeah,
done.
I need to watch it. It's one of
You-
those that it's like
you
when
need
I
to
saw
watch
the
it.
trailer, I was like, shit.
And him and his
Kind of
brother
fell to
did
the
it.
wayside.
Him and his brother
Yeah.
wrote it, directed it, produced it, everything. It's awesome. And
I thought it was him and his dad.
was it his dad?
Yeah.
Maybe it was his dad.
Yeah.
I thought it was his brother. Anyway, him and one of his relatives did it. But Brett watches a show. My brother actually introduced us to it called Peaky Blinders,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to see that.
and I don't like it.
You don't like it now?
I can't stand it.
I
The,
thought,
the main character in it drives me nuts.
I thought you said you liked it.
I did, and then the more I watched it, the more I just couldn't.
How long did you get into it?
I watched the whole first season.
Because like this is not what we talked about the other like
The
a couple
whole
weeks ago.
the
You
whole.
said, no man, it's good. You gotta watch it.
Here's the thing, the only parts that are good in it are the Tom Hardy parts.
Oh come on.
I'm dead serious, man.
Cillian Murphy is the lead character in that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy from 28 Days Later.
I
Scarecrow.
Yeah.
I can't stand him. He drives me nuts.
He was on.
I can't stand him.
Inception too.
Yeah.
He was the guy they were trying to plant the.
And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything about it because I don't want to give it away.
I
Because
don't know if I want to watch it now.
well, I spoil a bunch of crap on here, and I'm not gonna spoil it.
You
But
wouldn't watch it anyway. Name how many shows I've tried to get you to watch.
I like Tom Hardy. I like Tom Hardy.
Oh, okay.
he's the only good part of that show. I'm dead serious, man. And
It's conjecture.
it is very much conjecture on my part.
Isn't that the word that...
I'm not gonna say he's the only good part.
Say?
But the reason why I don't watch the show is because the Cillian Murphy's character drives me I can't stand his character.
There's a lot of shows where I love, but then like I
Yeah.
fucking hate the main character sometimes.
This
Like,
is my Napoleon Dynamite.
gosh.
Well,
No. If you watch fucking Peaky Blinders, you have to watch Lex with me.
I want to watch Van Helsing. That's what I
Yeah,
want to watch.
we need to watch. Well, then.
is that a series now?
Yeah, it's really good. It's like a post-apocalyptic vampire movie about.
It looks really good.
Bud
and I just watched Van Helsing the other day.
Well, it's not. It's totally different.
movie?
The movie
Yeah.
with
Yeah, this is the show.
Not
Wolverine?
anything. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
Claws are
of
fine.
that at all.
so it's completely different than
Yeah,
that.
it's based off of
A girl,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's all female. Well, not all female leads, but the Van Helsings in this are all females. But they're descendants, and the story is that there is a volcanic eruption, and it covers the sun for a long time. So then vampires decide we're coming out.
Yeah, perfect
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, and so it's post-apocalyptic vampire shit, and so like she gets bit and goes into a coma for 3 years, and it starts out she's in this coma, and this guy by himself at the military base, everybody else is dead or abandoned, is watching her and waiting for her to wake up.
It looks good. So
Yeah.
I think
it
I'm
is
gonna
really
watch it.
good.
I think I'm gonna watch it.
This season was kind of, but they're in season 4, so that's kind of when things kind of
Yeah.
do a downgrade and that sort of thing. They got a little bit too off the deep end on the story, I think, sometimes. But season 2 was like
The best?
people that they had, in my opinion, and that's usually how I feel about a lot of shows. That season 2 is like when they find their stride and they're still true to the original story and whatever. But the people that they got to play the villains, I think, were pretty spot on.
Awesome.
I like the movie. I thought the movie was cool.
Yeah, this is nothing like that. But I like that too.
Speaking of cool, we gotta jump subjects.
We gotta.
It's not cool.
We haven't
So-
we haven't talked about this in like 2 shows.
Well,
There's a reason.
there's nothing to talk about.
There's plenty to talk about.
Is there?
There's a reason why.
Other than they're bankrupt and about to have to sell to Jeff Bezos.
Hold on, here we go.
Is it?
Wrestling.
Is it though?
I think last time we did a show where I was not last time, but the Royal Rumble. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Royal Rumble. I mean,
Some
we did.
stuff happened, and
Stop.
Here's the thing. You do this because you know I'm just gonna crap on it.
No, I don't. I
And-
like talking about wrestling, whether it's good or bad, or if you
I
don't
know,
like it.
but-
But I like talking about it.
I know I'm saying we could talk about it, but you know I'm gonna crap on the results.
Well, I'm not gonna say that you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. I know you say you don't. It's crap because you don't watch it, but you still gotta watch it.
I try to watch it. I attempt to watch
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw, and I attempt to watch Friday Night SmackDown.
It can,
I try to watch it.
It can be a lull sometimes, but
I just pop in and out from my bedroom
Yeah.
on occasion. Be like, so what are they doing now? Nothing. Okay.
yeah, she'll walk out. She goes, "Who's winning?"
I try to watch it. I'm serious.
Well, okay, let's just talk about the Royal Rumble. Okay.
You go through and
Okay.
I'll talk with you. Let's
Okay.
go.
The
Hey.
first match of Royal Rumble was the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. He's back.
Let's do it.
He fought Shorty G. He beat Shorty G.
Of course, he beat Shorty G.
But they're building I guess like a
Wow,
storyline with
this is the thing that aggravates me.
yeah.
Why do you put something on there?
They're pushing Shorty G.
I get it, but you push Shorty G against Sheamus and get him beat.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they want the Goliath and
I get
David
it,
and Goliath.
but it's so
I like that season of Survivor as well.
stupid. That was a great season of Survivor.
So the second match was Andre Siena. He's the U.S. champion,
Yep.
and he beat
Andrade
he beat Humberto Carrillo. But after the match, he got suspended because
Yeah, 'cause
he got some illegal drugs in him. or
illegal
something, so-
drugs. Yep.
The good kind.
So what happened to the
like
belt?
the help me kind or the
It's up for
the
grabs?
harm me kind.
I think it's the help me kind.
What
That's
is
stupid. That shouldn't be illegal.
Yeah,
what's up with the belt?
they're letting him keep it. I don't know why.
Come on.
They're letting him keep it. So
So he's suspended.
So Roman
Yeah.
Reigns goes out for
There's-
cancer and he loses his belt.
Yeah.
But he goes
That's-
out for freaking
yeah, that's
illegal
bullshit.
drugs and he
Yeah.
gets to keep it.
But only
Yeah.
illegal
Yet
in
again,
some states. Where does he live?
One at a time, guys.
Where does he live? You know, it's like it's legal in some states, and he's probably using it for medicinal purposes instead of getting hopped up on painkillers
I
and
don't
leading down
know.
the road to addiction like so many people before him, and that's bullshit.
I think he had an injury, and I think he was trying to go off of it. So
I think
So they would rather him be on an opioid addict.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, because they supply those.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns defeated Baron Corbin.
Man, it's about time we got to something good.
It was a false count anywhere. It was actually a really, really good match. They were because they had it at the Astro stadium, and they were all over. They were fighting on top of the dugout.
Yeah,
It was-
I thought that was. I think that was the only part
Didn't
that
he?
I watched. But I thought
Didn't
that
he
was
pin him
kinda
on the
cool.
dugout?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he pinned
Yeah.
him on the
That's
dugout.
pretty dope. I gotta give him.
It's finally, they did something worth freaking watching.
So
In the Astrodome.
Charlotte, she won the women's Royal Rumble. So she's gonna
I can dig that.
she's gonna face.
Yeah.
She gets to pick who she gets to face, either
Yeah.
Bailey or
At least she's worthy of it.
Yeah, the bad thing about that, and I'm going a little forward here, is that on Monday Night Raw, I think she may challenge the NXT person at WrestleMania, and I think that's a step down. That's just me.
Why?
I don't. They're pushing NXT, man.
Same thing
Holy
happened, man.
crap.
You know, I was reading about because a lot of like news stories and stuff about their financial issues popped up, and just this year alone, here we are in February 9th, their stock has dropped 40%.
Yeah, they actually released, I think, 2 executives.
Yeah, it's not great over there.
Yeah.
They're probably about to sell to Amazon, at least for their streaming rights.
Yeah, that's why. Because it doesn't help they're doing the XFL either. So
No.
Well, yeah, because it's crap football.
It was to begin with.
I mean,
They're like, remember that horrible idea we had about 25 years ago?
yeah,
How long?
let's do it again.
Since
It's
this other thing isn't working that's done that we normally have been doing great for 30 plus years. Let's do that thing that didn't last for
it didn't even last a whole
it
season.
didn't even last a whole season. Let's bring that back.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. What the fuck?
So
And let's do it right after the NFL, right after the Super Bowl.
so Bailey beats Lacey Evans.
Okay,
and
I can dig that.
she retains her title. Bray Wyatt beats Daniel Bryan for the Universal Champion. And they had like a strap match. And so he was he was hitting the hell out of Daniel Bryan. He had some really bad marks on him. So it was pretty intense.
It's so
Dan-
kinky. That whole Daniel Bryant stuff just seemed like S&M related to me.
It is. It was strange.
But Daniel Bryan, he welts easy though.
Yeah, that's true.
He welts easy. His
And-
little fair skin.
And so Becky Lynch beated Asuka.
Did you say debeated?
Debeated.
Beated.
I like that.
Defeated. What does that even mean?
It's
I-
defeated and beat at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it was that she went extra hard. She debeated the shit out of her.
Sorry.
So yeah, that I can dig that. That's awesome.
So the men's Royal Rumble. So there was a few people that came out. That were MVP came out. And he hasn't been on WWE in a long time.
Because everybody cool is over
Yeah.
hanging out with Jericho.
So Brock Lesnar came out at number 1. And then he eliminated the first
15.
14 people.
Was it 14?
Yeah. Because I think he tied with Kane.
That just seems like I didn't watch it, but the only thing I'm picturing in my head is like the end of Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
where the Velociraptors are around and then the T-Rex busts in and they're like jumping on him and shit. That's all I can see. It's like when you picture Brock Lesnar and like everybody else, it's like it was just like that,
But he threw out the first 14 people like really quick. And so I think Ricochet came out 15 and he stayed in the ring. And Drew McIntyre came out 16, which I'm sure you're really happy about. So they're actually pushing him. So he actually eliminated Brock. And so from 16 on, then there was like people in the ring. And so Edge came out 21. And I was like super, super happy. So he came out of retirement. He looks great. It looks like he's in shape. He's got all these, the gray hairs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he looks old.
But he looks,
He looks older. He looks like he should.
I knew you were gonna come through.
Man, no, I'll come through on the head.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not.
She loves
He's definitely in way better shape than I even think about being right now.
Yeah.
Follow his Insta, and it's not for his wrestling.
I'm happy he's back because guess what? Now they have something to watch.
Yeah, he's on Raw.
But he's not going to be an everyday thing.
He doesn't need to be.
No.
He's an actor now anyway. He's not
He's
part of it.
he's at least something
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of TV shows. I
something
think it was,
good's back.
So
some sci-fi series. I can't remember what it was, but it looks interesting.
it was I think it was called Haven.
Yes,
Haven.
he was
He
on
did-
that, and then another one that looked kind of like
Him
fantasy Viking-y.
him and Christian were on it together.
Yeah.
So not on the Viking, but the Haven one.
Yeah.
So
Oh, how surprising!
they have a funny show.
I know
they're a funny podcast.
They're really funny.
If it's any other podcast I listen to, it's probably that one.
They're funny.
Yeah,
I like them.
They're funny together. Yeah, they are. So
That's why I love Jericho's social media. It I told you like that standee that they were burning this week. They did all that series of pictures of people just editing that into all different like movie scenes and shit like that. And I remember just looking at it not that long ago, going through a whole bunch of pictures, just laughing my ass off because it's just it's
Funny
so
shit.
dumb, but it's hilarious.
So Drew McIntyre ended up winning the Royal Rumble. I think the final was him, Roman, Edge, and I think who else was there? I think Randy Orton. They were like the final ones, and so
The Viper and the Lion.
yeah, they're pushing Drew McIntyre because I think he's due, man. And yeah, I knew you're gonna do that. He's done the work, dude. I'm telling you right now.
Sorry.
He's
Fell
been
asleep
there
for a second.
Yeah, and I know you don't like him, and that's the whole thing behind your ding is you don't like him, so he shouldn't be there. But if he's there,
No, that's not true.
He's there every night.
That is not true.
And he does the work.
I do not like Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
I do not like her. But she deserves to be where she's at.
Yeah.
I do not like her.
Yeah,
I do not like Ric Flair, but he deserved to be where he was at.
yeah, he does. But I'm telling you, Drew McIntyre's there every night.
And just because you're there every night doesn't mean you're good.
You haven't watched it, so you haven't watched.
I haven't watched it because he's there every night.
because if he's there doing the work, the crowd likes him, then they're gonna push him.
Okay, good
So-
for him. I'm good. I'm good. All I can say is just because you're there every night doesn't mean you're
I'm
good.
telling you, the crowd likes him, though.
Well, the crowd is stupid.
They're going with him, so they're going with him. So
Good, they're stupid.
he actually challenged Brock for the WWE title. So
That is my dream matchup right there. I couldn't think of a better matchup.
What about when he fought Rey Mysterio? It's like a perfect matchup, right? Right?
yeah,
No, because he beat Rey Mysterio.
yeah.
Well, obviously, again, it's like the Velociraptors on the T-Rex. Or like,
Let's
Not
talk
to
about
get-
something cool,
not
like
to
John
get-
Morrison coming back.
Yeah, he's actually
Yay.
him and Miz are actually they have I think they're about to do another Saudi Arabia event.
oh, that's so dumb.
It is, and so I think Miz and John Morrison just recently this week they beat a bunch of other tag teams to go against the New Day. So that's going to be, I guess, at the Saudi Arabia Crown Jewel, whatever they call it. I don't know, whatever.
I
So,
extra like him now because he
Yeah.
just seems like I liked him anyway.
yeah,
But after watching that
was gonna-
season, it's just he seems so like such a nice dude. Like I like all these in-depth interviews, especially with the older fighters that are just like,
Yeah.
that's not the way I am anymore. Like,
yeah,
like Jake the Snake or whatever, and you know what? It's just how much of just these sweet people these guys are, and they're kind of awkward, kind of nerdy, but they have this whole badass tough guy whatever persona but it's like that's not really me. Broken microphone. But
What I thought was cool about Survivor and him being on Survivor was exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he was just this big old douchey
Meathead, whatever.
jock meathead guy. The guy's actually pretty intelligent.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, and
So-
he was talking. It's like
I don't know how to act like myself because I have all these personas that
Yeah.
but this is not really me, and I'm awkward. I don't know how to talk to people when I'm not in character. And
Yeah.
and the best friends, the brochacho
The brochacho.
was like the nerdiest little dude out there, but he was the guy that he liked to talk a lot. That's the guy that talked his way through the 5 hour standing up on like the cross thing for 5 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's what I did when I was talking. I couldn't feel pain, but he was asking him all the questions. He's like, so what's it like to be the mayor of SmackDown? What is it? Mayor.
Slamtown.
Slamtown.
How does one become a citizen of Slamtown? Just like asking him all kinds.
You don't wanna go there.
Kind of joking with him, but actually engaging with him and talking to him about stuff.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell that that's probably not that common for him.
Well, yeah, because the guy that was out there was like the nerdiest of nerds you would ever meet in your whole life, and here's John Morrison, this like everybody think he's a douchey jock meathead, and he's
you wouldn't know that he's pretty fluent in Spanish.
yeah. Well,
And
he
he-
had to be if
and
he
he-
was done in Mexico.
And he doesn't advertise it, doesn't tell anybody. Just,
I mean, I really love that.
I just he was a really cool part of that show. What was cool about it is because when he came on, I was like, what? I knew who he was, and the kids in Brit were like, who's that guy? And I was like,
who's that guy?
what are you talking about?
They've had all kinds of people. They had what's his name, John Rocker, that was the racist Atlanta Brave guy on there. He didn't last very long. He was on Blood versus Water. His wife did, but he did not last very long. It's like, we don't
John Rocker.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I haven't heard
That's
that
a
name in a long time.
throwback. Because I was like, I recognize that because that's my team, and I was like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
And they all kinds of people on there.
He was good for a little bit, wasn't he? Rocker.
Yeah, until he dropped a hard R in word.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, like baseball wise, he was good,
Yeah,
though, right?
he was a decent.
I don't mean he's a good person. I mean like
he was.
he
no,
was decent.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I
He
think
was no John Smoltz.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think
he was a closer, wasn't he?
he was a closer.
He threw
kind of a setup man closer.
Okay.
But he was always the one that would go off.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
He's always getting into fights and always. I remember there was a show, I can't remember what it was called though. Papa Lockalocalus, he's the one that announced it, but they would get like regular, maybe it was called Average Joe or something like that.
Yeah.
And they would
That
face the
sounds
pros, and he was
Yeah.
on there, and they would take like regular people and they would have to face the pros in these different events. And one of the events was John Rocker was on the mound, and you had to wrestle him off the mound, and he like destroyed these guys, man.
Why is that? That doesn't happen in baseball.
Yeah, but-
you don't wrestle the pitcher.
But that's what
What if you get pinged by him?
that's what they did. They were at the plate, and he threw at him, and he pinged them, and then they charged the mound, and they had to wrestle him off the mound.
because he's a big dude. Man.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a strong dude.
Yeah.
And but anyway, yeah, that was I can't remember. I think it was called Average Joe's. I think that's what it was called.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think it didn't last too long though.
No, but Goldberg was on there one season.
Bill
or
Goldberg.
one episode.
I always want to say his name like Jean-Claude Van Damme because he was in that Universal Soldier movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I
yeah, he
remember him
was.
doing the press run for it or whatever, and Bill Goldberg.
Speaking of Bill Goldberg, he actually
yeah. He's going after
he challenged the Fiend.
the Fiend. Yeah,
So I think it's going to be at Saudi
and
Arabia.
you know what aggravates
He's
me?
next, huh?
This is what's gonna aggravate me. Guess what?
Yeah,
The Fiend's gonna win.
yeah, he is.
And it's gonna aggravate the piss out of
Of
me.
course, because like the older wrestlers, they're always push the younger ones.
I know, but
Man,
in no way in freaking Hades is
Yeah.
the Fiend gonna beat Goldberg.
I agree.
yeah. Well, I was watching that Andre the Giant documentary, which if you watch it, it will destroy your life. But about how he turned heel and basically
People hated him, right?
hated
And
him. And
Yeah.
they abused the shit out of him.
They
Like they would throw beer cans at him and stuff, and like he was miserable. But the reason why he did that is because he knew that his time was up, and
Yeah.
he wanted Hogan to be brought up.
Yeah.
and he did that.
Yeah,
Right.
he wanted to push Hogan. Yeah.
But it was just so sad
Because it affected him like really
yeah,
bad.
in
man.
the interviews, because he's a real nice guy, he never hurt anybody, but
Yeah.
people would throw shit at him and all this stuff. I think Jake the Snake told the story where people were doing that, and they got in their car, and he got pissed off, and he flipped their fucking car.
Yeah.
Because they were throwing beer bottles and shit at him or whatever.
Because he's like, he took it pretty personal.
Yeah, because, I mean...
I do remember that.
I would, too, if people were abusing, like, physically abusing me and shit all the time.
He sold it, man, I guess.
But... And because that was, like, kid's hero, I mean, I understand that, but you gotta understand that that's his character, that's not him. And that's bullshit. Just like maybe a little kid getting upset about it, but adults doing that shit to someone that didn't deserve it.
Yeah. That's like the Philadelphia Eagles fan throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. They pelted Santa Claus with snowballs.
Yeah.
Because they're
punks.
They're dumb.
But it just seems like a lot, like I was like back to what I was talking about, a lot of these guys go through it, man, and that's probably, other than their body injuries, that's why they have addiction problems, because people can't separate the character from the person.
Yeah.
Well, that's going back to John Morrison. That's exactly what he said. Yeah. He said, I was very antisocial because if I wasn't my persona, my character, I didn't know how to interact with people.
Right.
And you get so wrapped up into it that, you know, and that's what Survivor is. Survivor is like the ultimate social game.
Yeah.
And I think he played it. Well, he found his little niche.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of he kind of.
It was a total fluke that he got voted out when he did.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that he did to get voted out. It just happened to be the way it fell. Was he was like the odd man out at that time.
Yeah,
and
the only time I ever seen anything kind of similar to what happened to him was when literally everybody had found an idol, and there was just one person left over, or by default, like this person had an idol, this person saved this one did this one canceled this one, so by default it's you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, going back to Andre the Giant, and you know all the stuff you hear about him was, I mean, he was a gentle giant and he was a nice guy, and you know, but he drank a lot
and he was in constant pain.
Pain all the time.
When he filmed Princess Bride, like the part where he was supposed to catch the princess, that they had to fake it because he couldn't pick her up.
Then they had to like put like some kind of saddle on it or something that he had to keep, that way he could hold her. I think I read that somewhere, that he had to have a saddle or something.
Yeah. But he drank a lot, and he was probably popping a lot of pills.
They talked about he liked to fart a lot, and he thought it was hilarious. And like Jake the Snake talk about it, he would like sit on him, and then he'd be like, ho 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 ho, what, I'm farting, and he would just be like,
probably rumble your whole body, man.
Yeah, there was a story on Princess Bride where he farted for like, I think it was like a minute straight. And the director, Rob Reiner, goes, "Hey, big guy, are you okay?" He goes, "I am now, boss." so that was kind of awesome. So
yeah, Fezzik is one of my all-time favorite characters.
Fezzik, what did we leave that cloak at? I think we're the old albino. That's great. It's a great movie. I'd never get tired of that movie.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Once Upon a Deadpool?
I don't think I have.
It's like the PG version of the second Deadpool movie.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's PG-13, and it's set around where Deadpool has kidnapped Fred Savage, and he's
oh yeah, I did. I have seen that.
You know, I didn't like either one of the Deadpool. Actually, I didn't like the first one enough that I didn't even watch the second one.
I loved it, but I love X-Men.
It was good.
I would watch X-Men just taking the shit. So, I mean, I love it. I don't care.
I think it was made to play Deadpool. So that's just me.
Well, and he busted his ass to get that character because they fucked it up in X2, and
well, he fought to get that, to do it.
Yeah. He did good, though. I think he did. I like Deadpool, but it's definitely a niche character.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those, you either like it or you don't.
I love it, but I have a very, very sick sense of humor. Like, it's like, oh, no.
His character on the comic books is the only character to recognize that he's in a comic book. Mm-hmm. Like, he'll say... In the comic book, he'll say, "Hey, you'll find out what happens if you turn this page right here."
Yeah.
Like he'll say, "Hey,"
and that's how he killed the Marvel Universe. Since like Deadpool killed the Marvel Universe, and that's how he killed Professor Xavier. Is that he looked into his mind and he realized that we're in a comic book, and he just
He used to be with a comic book called Thunderbolts, where it was it was everybody that was red. It's like he dressed as red. Red Hulk was on it. The Punisher had a red skull. Elektra was on it. She wears red. And so I think who was else? I think Ghost Rider was on it. He was red. He was red. He was red there.
Not Spider-Man.
No,
Deadpool with that Spider-Man.
no, because they were all assassins. They were all assassins.
Yeah.
So anytime they were going to go do a mission and they were talking like technical, and Deadpool didn't want anything to do with it, he'd go, "Screw this!" He'd
And just shoot himself in the head.
Boom.
There's a video game that's what he like. If you had it paused or whatever, making him wait, he would get bored and shoot himself in the head.
Screw this! Boom! Shoot himself, and I was like, "Okay, wait me up whenever we're there."
Because see, I feel like if I was in that situation, then I would be like him. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that is kind of like an ultimate id.
So when Deadpool was introduced in Wolverine, that was not anything like Deadpool.
No.
Hell no. Like the beginning part, yes. The end part, no.
And I think the reason why they ended up going that route is because he was also doing Green Lantern, so he couldn't film anymore. But I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what it was. They shouldn't have even done that. They could have had that character, but not had it been Wade Wilson.
I was watching it in the movie theaters, and I saw that part, and I go,
I did too.
So when
because
they made him into like that creature thing,
yeah,
That
with all
never
everybody,
fucking
swords come out of his hands. and
Yeah.
his mouth was wired or
gone completely.
Yeah.
that was good. He's completely gone. But he like they like gave him all the powers of all the other.
Yeah, they
X-Men,
could have done that.
Yeah.
Again, without it being Wade. I was so excited because that's half the thing. That's, I mean, say what you will about the third one. I like it just because it has like, which they finally did her right. I think in Apocalypse, which I don't think that one was as bad as people said it was either. But again, I love X-Men.
I don't know
But,
if I've seen that one.
I just thought
Psylocke was in that, and I love her.
I just think
But
Apocalypse has got to be almost bigger than Thanos,
yeah,
and he wasn't. He was a short little guy, and it just to me
it was still Oscar Isaac though.
yeah. I
I mean, that was the aspect of it too that I didn't really care for.
No.
But,
Apocalypse is a big guy.
Yeah.
He's big dude.
Apocalypse.
So
And I just want to watch Disney Plus all the time. That's why I got to finish Spider-Man so I can start watching X-Men too.
yeah,
Because those series are pretty true to the comics. The ones from
Is that the
early
one?
90s.
Is that the one in the baseball stadium?
that is Days of Future Past.
yeah. Days of Future
I
Past.
love that movie. Man, I watched that movie in theater.
Yeah.
By myself, and I cried so hard that like
Wolverine.
it was during the part where Xavier meets himself.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but that just kicked me in the guts.
I
really
just
hard.
wish I could just take over that franchise and just write it
Yeah.
the way it should be. And God,
I feel like they were trying to get it back on track more, but I don't know. I think,
I don't think I ever saw Apocalypse.
I mean, I liked it
what do you think about Sam Raimi taking over Doctor Strange?
I think it'll be interesting. I feel because, like I said, it's like Spider-Man 3 wasn't that great if you watch it as a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, it's like I don't think he had any control.
It wasn't that bad if you watch it as a Sam Raimi movie.
Right. I don't think he had a lot of. I think he got all these characters pushed in there that he didn't want, but
Right,
he had
because they wanted to sell toys.
and he had to do it. So I think. What do you think about potentially your boy might being on there, Campbell?
No, my real dad. Well, it'll have to be. Like I said, it's gotta have Bruce and gotta have brother, at least Bruce and brother Ted.
Yeah.
I love Ted Raimi. He was on Xena.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
I love him.
So,
He's Doctor the Mighty.
but we're 1 minute and 58 seconds in.
58 seconds.
So,
We go for too long, Robert.
I'm looking at the
what are you looking at?
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Age of Apocalypse.
Oscar
It came out.
Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. I love him.
There was a guy.
Space Poppy.
There was a guy that did a cosplay at the San Diego Comic Con that looked really good as Apocalypse, and the guy, I know you like that actor that played Apocalypse,
Yeah.
but they kind of compared him to was it Power Rangers, the Ooze?
Yeah, I've been oozed. No, I agree that was a little bit lacking. I thought, like, acting wise, he did really well.
Yeah.
Like that part where he was talking about that I am God or whatever
Right.
and all that. And it's like, oh, that's badass. But
Yeah, I just wish he was bigger. That's
Yeah.
just me.
He does look kind of puny.
Yeah.
But I like that they had.
If you pull up any comic books of Apocalypse, the dude's big.
But he can change his size too. But
he's almost like Thanos' side.
But I liked that they reintroduced Storm is actually from Africa.
Yeah. If they were smart, they would. I mean, the comic storyline is that her and Black Panther marry.
Yeah.
And so
Storm's a badass. She's one of my favorites, and
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, no offense to Halle Berry, but I didn't really like her in that role too much. Maybe kind of in the first one.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Maybe not like the frog statement, but that's just me.
It's still kind of Toad part. What happens
he's
to Toad?
He's like huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
But they were
sure.
at the end of that one, and Days of Future Past is leading up to the Mr. Sinister stuff.
Yeah.
And that is like one of the ultimate X-Men villains for me because he's so fucking scary.
You should read the Power X, the one I just got. It's got everybody in the whole universe in it, and it's a really good story. And it's got Sinister, it's got Apocalypse, it's got everybody.
Yeah. I whatever MCU ends up doing with it, I feel like they need to go because they're talking about they're bringing the Eternals, and they're saying they're going to use the Thanos snap to figure out how to incorporate X-Men into the universe. 'Cause the Eternals, what I read about
Fantastic Four, maybe, and
the elite stuff is that the Eternals were always here, but they had forgotten who they were until they had the snap, and after they came back.
so the rumor is that they're going to do the Secret Invasion, the Skrulls, and how they're going to make it.
I mean, that makes sense.
And how they're going to make it where they get to Earth is through the negative zone, which is the Fantastic Four.
Right.
And so, because that's where, and it's like in the Baxter Building.
Right.
And so that's the storyline. I hope they do that. I don't know if they will.
See. Fantastic Four is hard.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike the first two movies too much.
The latest one that they
like
came
Chris
out.
Evans. I never watched that one.
The latest one that came out. Man, it was
garbage.
It
I
was
watched it.
awful.
I didn't even watch it.
I didn't either,
I didn't
I didn't finish it. I can tell you, it was awful.
I would just tell you, it was so bad that Marvel pulled the Fantastic Four series when that movie came out. And they're one of the highest selling ones.
Yeah.
They pulled the series because they didn't want any part of it, and so that should tell you right there what
it was. It was bad.
But-
I mean,
but
the first two are the ones that had Chris Evans.
Chris Evans,
Yeah. I liked it.
I liked it. It wasn't what they are today, but for what comic book movies were then, it was pretty. I saw the second one twice in theaters. But again, Chris Evans.
I'm a big
I like Chris Evans.
I'm a big Doctor Doom fan.
Yeah.
And I love Doctor Doom. As a bad guy, I love him. He's one of the premier bad guys in Marvel Comics. And they had 3 chances to make him right.
Is that the one they did in Spider-Man?
No, that's the Green Goblin.
Doctor Doom.
Dr. Octopus.
No, the one that Jake Gyllenhaal played.
Oh, that was Mysterio.
That's
Mysterio. Okay.
That's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains too.
Doctor Doom is one of the ultimate bad guys.
But they got
he's right up there with like Thanos to me.
Julian to play it, and he's Mr. Pretty Guy, and they leaned on that a lot, which I love him. I liked him in Charmed, and what was it? Nip Tuck. He's really good in that. But
you were saying they had.
I like him as that, but
they
they still didn't do him right.
Yeah.
What movies was he in?
Which guy?
Dr. Doom.
She was just saying
the Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Doctor Doom guy, and he was the villain in the first two. The first two movies. He was the like almost armor
with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Doctor Doom.
Okay.
So he's one of the premier bad guys in Marvel history, and I've always loved him, and I thought they had 3 chances to make him right, and they failed each time.
What was the third one?
The new one. The new one.
Oh, I didn't even get to that point.
No.
He looked like a homeless guy.
Really?
Yeah, to me he did.
I didn't even. I'm telling you.
Why?
I didn't get very far into that.
All this stuff was like raggedy and.
But I mean, why did they do that? Not why did he look like?
Oh, I don't know why they did that. I don't know. It's just.
I thought it was. I don't know.
That's what I was doing.
They're
the whole time.
trying too hard to to sexy it up and diversify it and all this shit and whatever.
That's cool, but just do it right.
If they get, I mean, you can have hot actors that are talented as well and right for the role. And I don't know. I don't know. I like Michael Chiklis as the Thing. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I was pretty happy for him because
and if they actually use practical makeup. You know, say what you will.
I was okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, because he screwed up on the shield. This is, you know, he
didn't screw up on the shield. The writers screwed up on him. Don't give shit to Michael Chiklis.
He's the one that played the Thing, right?
Yeah. But anyway.
Kylan loves Thing.
Yeah.
He loves him.
It's clobbering time.
He loves him and the Hulk.
That's what CM Punk does. It's clobbering time.
I'm trying to find a picture.
Who would win in a fight between everybody else?
That latest one, I didn't get very far into it because
I didn't endorse it. I didn't watch it. I didn't attempt to go look at it.
And I watch every comic book movie ever, even about stuff that I'm not even into. You know.
God, that's upset me so bad too. That one.
And I don't like the guy who played Mr. Fantastic in the new one either. Miles Teller, is that his name?
Yeah, there was
I like him in like serious roles.
There was some serious stuff going on, I think, on Twitter about them talking about the director and stuff like that, and I think he was a part of it. Or
I heard he's a really, really big douchebag.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's that or not. I don't know. I don't like him as an actor.
I don't know enough of him. That's just conjecture.
Yeah. That's what I say. Like I said, I'm not saying that he is because I don't know anything about him.
I'm going to do a pass. I'm going to do a pass.
Yeah, pass.
Well, watch Spectacular now. He's pretty good in that movie.
Spectacular?
Spectacular now. It was him and that girl from the Divergent movies.
That's from Moulin Rouge.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Are they ever
words
gonna,
in our vernacular can never stop.
Are they ever going to do a movie where all of them come together?
Marvel?
They did that. It's called Endgame.
Yeah.
No, but Fantastic Four wasn't there.
Well, because they just recently, Fox and Sony had the rights for X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man.
And Deadpool.
And Disney just bought all that, too. So
are they going to bring them all together?
Eventually, I think they are.
They are. They're just kind of figuring out how to do it.
They should give this whole franchise to what's his name? The guy that did the Mandalorian.
Jon Favreau?
Yeah, they should just give every movie to him. Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah.
Just have him do it.
Ooh, Silver Surfer. I forgot about Silver Surfer.
He's one of my favorites too, and
they got I don't know why I don't know. Poor
I'm getting anxiety.
I love Doug Jones.
That just irks me so bad.
Silver Surfer a bad guy?
No, not really. He works for a bad guy.
He's the herald to Galactus. Like he goes to planets and he checks out the planet for Galactus, and Galactus shows up. He's not a cloud or a mist, but he shows up and he eats the world.
Yeah.
So
Silver Surfer eats the world?
No, the Galactus.
Oh, okay.
Because
he's the herald for
instead of him destroying his home planet, correct?
Yeah.
In exchange for that.
Okay.
And
he had like a little cartoon series for a little while.
Silver Surfer is a strong ass character too. He can beat a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hulk, a lot of people.
He was kind of weak in that movie.
Yeah, he was, and they kind of did him wrong.
They did. They didn't. They spent too much time on like the media bullshit and the wedding and all that stuff, and I felt like he didn't. It was kind of like Venom in the third Spider-Man movie. They didn't give him it was all hype.
Yeah.
And then, but I love that it was Doug Jones, but he never gets to have his own voice except for like in Hellboy 2. They made him have Lawrence Fishburne's voice, but I love him.
Okay. We're 2 minutes 8 seconds. You guys ready to?
8 seconds.
You guys ready to?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about comic books all night?
We could.
I'd rather talk about comic books than WWE.
Well, hey.
The wrestling?
We could try it. See how it does.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well.
Okay.
You have any shout outs, Ash?
I don't know. I was just looking at this new Bowling for Soup song because I love it.
Yeah.
The that they did for Alexa Bliss.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I love it.
But I got it pulled up.
So does Bud.
Because Bowling for Soup's her favorite band, and they found out about it, or Jarrett did. So they wrote a song about her.
Man. I like her, but I like Rosemary more. No, that's just me.
Oh.
What was that?
My chair.
That scared me.
Ah. That's really loud.
That sounds pretty good though.
I like it.
Yeah.
Is that like Todd Stanley's music? He's running through the woods. It's a camera like this.
Yeah. I love Bowling for
I'm
Soup.
pretending like I'm running and I have a camera.
Yeah, but you gotta dart to the right really quick.
Oh God, we gotta write a song about Todd now.
I'm so dumb.
Running through the woods and I don't know why.
I run to my left and I hold my gat.
I hope everyone thinks I'm a cool guy.
With a mullet.
He has a ponytail.
Looks like a mullet.
It's the whole thing is long.
I think he puts like his hair through the back of his hat, the hole. So I kind of thought it looked like a
I
mullet.
used to do that when I was a little kid and didn't want to put my hair in a ponytail, but I had a hat.
Yeah, but you're like cool though.
Yeah.
Todd Stanley's not. He ain't cool.
He wants to be cool, and that's why he makes Muppets.
Yeah, he makes chakas.
Chaka.
Chakas.
So you have any shout outs?
You talking to me?
Simone.
Catch your tone. I'll always shout out to my babies and Britt. Always. I love y'all. Thank y'all for helping me paint.
Hey, tell Britt I like potato bread.
Britt, Robert likes potato bread, even though he just said it.
Yeah, I just said it right now.
But I have to tell
Hey,
you.
Britt. Hey, Britt. Robert wanted you to know.
I was gonna do another shout out and I forgot. I'm tired.
How did Zoe do in her game?
She did awesome.
Cool.
She did really awesome for her last game. Now she's getting psyched up for
Soccer.
soccer.
Does she dunk on anybody?
Dunk. Wait.
You don't dunk.
You don't dunk in soccer.
No, in basketball. Did she dunk on anybody?
Did I not just say she's getting psyched up for soccer and then
No,
you
but
said dunk?
I'm still talking about basketball.
Oh, well, you said soccer.
I said no. You said that she's getting ready for soccer.
Oh, okay.
said-
Got you. No, she didn't. She didn't dunk on anybody.
Dang it.
Game tomorrow.
Okay. I got shouts out to.
Shouts outs?
Shouts outs.
Yeah, shouts outs.
Shouts outs. Who's messaging me somewhere right now?
Oh,
Hey.
it's me.
Shout
Is
it out.
Okay.
I sent you that music video.
Oh, okay.
Shout it out.
Sweet. Shout out to Tanya and Dan.
Yes.
Shout out to Caitlin and Candace.
Good night, sweet dreams.
Shout out to Ricardo and Sebastian.
Good night, sweet dreams.
Shout out to Stephen and Blair.
Good night, sweet dreams.
And shout out to my mom.
Good night, sweet dreams.
All right. We'll see you next week. Thanks everybody for listening and downloading. And just continue to listen to us and give us feedback, please, whenever you can.
Continue to love us.
Yes.
You know.
Send us your money. Wait, what?
I like turtles.
Listen. We're gonna have to settle. I'm gonna take you out to the parking garage, boy, and settle this out.
Ooh, she's going to spank your little bottom blue.
As my
Okay, here we go.
leader says.
We're going out.
Peace out.
Wow.